cumulative valuation of $13.6 billion. This momentum is, of course, powered by over 9,900 fintechs, an impressive 87% adoption rate, the highest globally, and a foundation of 954 million internet users, a strong digital infrastructure, and very supportive policy. In just the last few years, India's fintech sector has attracted 25 to 30 billion in foreign investment. At the same time, the country has become a natural home for global capability centers as banks, insurers, payment firms establish operations here to grow their talent, technology, and get some scale. This combination is positioning India not just as a fast-growing market, but as an exporter of fintech know-how and a preferred partner for companies on the path of finance transformation. With our diverse panel today, we will be exploring how this growth opportunity can be best leveraged with a focus on upskilling programs that have the potential to strengthen businesses, create jobs, and drive sustainable economic prosperity. Prof. Huang, I will put my first question to you. It's wonderful that the Asian Institute of Digital Finance is running a program for our students, some of who are sitting behind over there. You'll be able to interact with them later. But how can institutions like AIDF collaborate with Indian partners to design upskilling initiatives that accelerate the transfer of cutting-edge technologies and academic breakthroughs into real-world fintech solutions? I think you'll have to switch.
Thank you. So it's really my honor to join this capacity building and upskilling program. So AIDF and NUS School Computing, we have many experiences over new programs, new technology programs in the past. So 5 years ago, when AIDS was founded, we launched the very first fintech PhD program in the world. And also, we are among the very first university that launched the fintech master programs. And so our new technology program is not just for the master or PhD. We also offer a lot of the executive training programs for senior executives, mid-career professionals, and also fresh graduates. And at the same time, now, as another example, we are also launching a new executive master in AI and digital transformation. That's another example that we always work closely with Singapore government and the GFTN to offer new degree programs for new technologies. In addition to that, in these capacity building programs, we all have capstone projects. So students have the opportunity to apply the state-of-art fintech, insurtech they learn throughout the program and work on the real problems of the industry partners through the capstone projects. So for the students, they also have the opportunity after the capstone project, they can visit AIDF or NUS School Computing and exchange to learn more advanced knowledge in that area. At the same time, all of the industry partners, they are welcome to continue working on the capstone project problems with AIDF or NUS School Computing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And speaking of capstone partners, Dr. Singhal, I'll move to you. We are hoping you will join us as one of our capstone partners as well. I had a question for you on many financial institutions in India are moving quickly to integrate AI, blockchain, data-driven approaches. How could a focused upskilling program like the one we are proposing in Odisha in these areas help your organizations launch new products, improve compliance, drive down costs, especially for customers in untapped markets?
See, let's understand technology, it's a tool. When you see a tool which is developing so fast, and you have a country like India, and you have heard the word jugaad, the basic thinking process, even at the last mile, they are able to find solutions even in the constraints, the most difficult position, and come out with something which is amazing. Now imagine if you are able to provide powerful tools in these hands, it will transform businesses, it will transform the way you look at solutioning to a very different level. When we see the effort being made here of trying to put tech, getting the best of brains, universities, and simplification of these tools in the hands of young people and people who want to upskill what they are doing and who are going to solve issues, it is going to leapfrog our country and our, to the next level. Jobs which we not even thought about would get created, solutions we not even thought about would get created, and all this will happen at a very hyper scale. So to answer your question, upskilling or reskilling is not like a luxury. It's a constant path where every day you're doing it. It is not like one milestone that you have to achieve. No, it's a constant thing. It's a way of life. Like even if you ask me, I'm constantly trying and playing with generative AI currently to learn to see how this tool can be used to redefine how we look at solving problems or solutions which will benefit the society, the country, and our customers at large.
Lifelong learning.
Exactly.
You don't just
it's a
stop at
continuous
one
thing.
level.
It's not like
Exactly. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Carrie, I will move on to you. Are you able to hear us? Excellent. Thank you. You can unmute your mic. Perfect. Okay. So I would like to ask you a question about Ant International's experience in other Asian markets. Based on that, how could a targeted upskilling initiative in India foster mutual learning, co-creation of digital finance solutions? What lessons have you seen elsewhere that could help Indian fintechs and your organization deliver greater impact?
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much for having me. I'm joining from Singapore. And also congratulations to the government of Odisha and GFTN for this amazing milestone. I think just from the outset, just looking from India perspective, India has one of the world's largest talent pool. 65% of 1.4 billion population is actually below 35 years old. So I'm calling myself old already, but you have such a great pool of young talents that are waiting to be inspired. So having this partnership in place, having a very structured program in place would really help drive the next transformation of the digital economy of India. But more importantly, put India on a global map and integrate India as a global economic powerhouse. So I think these are all very important backdrop and context we should have in mind. I want to switch a little bit into fintech industry. Today, when we operate in ASEAN, when we talk to the government in the region, fintech is no longer just something nice to have. From a financial technology perspective, it is very strategic. It is a combination of financial services, but also technology advancement. So today, it employs 500,000 people and projected to double by 2030 in the India market. And I think India has a very unique competitiveness because the talent base is relatively competitive. And also, they are very sophisticated already to a certain level of engineering expertise. And also, the landscape, India itself, just looking at the amazing initiatives that RBI and MBCI and the government itself has taken, ranging from UPI, Adaha, and all the digital locker, these like digital infrastructure that is public, have provided a very good platform for a lot of innovations to leapfrog and jumpstart. So having this unique environment placed India already in a very advantageous position. So I think having a national tech roadmap is very important. We should think about talent not just as training, skilling, reskilling, but really we need to look at it holistically, almost like a supply chain. If you think about it, first you have the roadmap, you have the focus, you know where the talent gaps are, you use data to analyze where the demands will be, and then you go really commit your resource on the supply side and make sure once you have all these strategy in place, you develop very good distribution channel to get this content to the right hands of the talent that you want to promote. So I think having this partnership in place between GFT and the government of Odisha is very good start, providing a very good framework. A lot of the input, resource, and like commitment can actually be channeled much more effectively. And also, just from a global perspective, we operate in over 70 countries and markets as a company, and international is headquartered in Singapore. So our lessons learned there are two examples. One is obviously we work very closely with Singapore Monetary Authority of Singapore, and also work with a lot of local institutions like NTU, looking into how we can, through research, through collaboration, through internship, through sandbox training, we can actually fine-tune the policy and then foster collaboration cross-agency, cross-sector. I think that is very important lesson for us to learn. While partnership with MAS in 2023 under Project Guardian was such a useful experience where we can actually have a very structured way where we can provide our use case, but also receive feedbacks, also tap into the ecosystem that MAS is able to bring on. And more importantly, how do we set ourselves up, train our own talents, but also share our knowledge with the ecosystem. So having a structured learning program, what NUS is doing, I think this will actually help with the distribution of the know-how and knowledge that we have accumulated in these emerging technology developments. And also, I think a few things just on the targeted upskilling. Bridging skill set is very important. As we all know, Gen AI has exponentially changed a lot of the way we operate. So I think large-scale talent training, skilling in AI and data science is a must. Having the data science and analytical skills to continue improve the accuracy of how AI can be a driver for payment services, for financial services is really critical, because we are at the tipping point where I think we need actually more fine-tuned data model to widen the financial access. There's still a lot of unbanked population under a lot of unserved population around the world. So I think India can play a huge role as a global finance and innovation hub to jumpstart and elevate its talent pool to meet the challenge of tomorrow. So I think training is one, but also adoption, how AI can actually be applied and adopted is very key, because you can train your LLM model all day long and improve the accuracy, but if it's not being used and if it's not being provided to the mass market, it will limit the potential of how technology can play a role in society. And this kind of leads to tech inclusion, because we all know, technology is catching up, but fraudsters, criminals are also catching up. So how do we make sure we create equal landscape where all the talents can access technology? What is the corporate positioning in bridging the gaps? I think these are all very important questions we should have in mind when we look into the type of talents and skill set we want to plug in to fill the gap. But last but not the least, I do think mindset is really critical, because in my 13 years operating in the fintech space, a lot of players come into the space for quick short-term revenue gain. But I think we should all ask ourselves, when we train the talents, how can we help them understand the social impact, the environmental impact that the industry can also bring to the community that we serve? So it's not just on the hard skill set training, how to build a model, but also understand, and you have the right model to fill the market gaps, then you can really unleash a lot of potential that technology can bring to transform the next generation of our economy. So thank you so much for having me, and very happy to be part of this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carrie. Appreciate that. And what you talked about, financial inclusion, I think is a good segue into my question for you, Mr. Sanjeev. From your perspective, which specific initiatives or pilots have yielded the most promising results for mass financial inclusion in your experience? And what opportunity does it present in terms of skilling to prepare for the future?
Sorry. So while in India we have this substrate of the Jamstack, the Jantan Aadhaar mobile substrate, on top of which there are many form factors of payments that have been built up. The one form factor that has that I personally believe that has done the largest amount to do financial inclusion on both sides, both on the customer side and on the business side, is the UPI. So what UPI has done, that though on one side it has made everybody, us and our grandfathers, do digital transactions, but the major shift has happened on the merchant side. So today we have a large base of merchants who otherwise was all cash, all unrecorded, have become digital now. And by becoming digital, what has yielded to them is now there was a large business segment. So today UPI has about 40 million merchants who are actively taking UPI transactions today. Now these 40 million merchants otherwise didn't have any financial data to produce, so their credit worthiness with a bank was absolute zero. So a bank would take a call on them, which was a anecdotal call to give a credit to them or not. And then we have programs like Sonidhi, which is again blanket programs. But today, by use of UPI, there is transactional data that these merchants are able to produce, and then financial institutions are able to make a call on their credit worthiness, and hence there is a large segment of merchants who have access to capital, and this capital is helping them grow, and that is only possible because of a form factor of a real-time payment like UPI. Now the inflection that we are on is not just India. UPI has now, through various partnerships and tie-ups, has gone to about 17 countries, last I counted, and more are coming. And not just that, the rest of the world is also taking cue from here and is migrating to more real-time payment structures, because card is not a real-time payment. Card is a T+1 settlement payment, but something like UPI is immediate settlement payment. So there is a higher demand for this kind of payment form factors across the world. And the skill set that are required to create this substrate, I believe would be in very high demand, not just in India, but across the world. For example, the way to onboard a UPI merchant, which is a low-tech activity. Now, India has a workforce which is trained, which has onboarded, which has assessed, verified. These 40 million merchants have onboarded them. And when rest of the world goes there and plans to introduce these real-time payment ecosystems, that skill set would be required. It's very basic, not very technical, but it's required. Understanding credit worthiness with real-time transaction data at a huge volume, huge scale is required. And that's a skill set that we have expertise in, we have some advantage in and experience in, and hence we should be able to proliferate in that. A third thing is, now a transaction form factor like UPI, where the ticket size is very small, 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 5 rupees, is very different from the kind of transactions you do on a credit card, like a $100, $200 kind of a transaction. As a result of that, the number of transactions that hits this system is very high, is very spiky in nature. About 80% of the UPI transactions happen in a 2-hour window. So scaling information systems to capture this at high fidelity is a skill set that is only available to Indian fintech engineers today. Because rest of the world may not be having a population base like ours, and then countries who have a population base do not have the tech or the substrate that everybody is included. The speaker prior to me, Alibaba, they have some structure, but it operates in a different scale in China. And here we have advantage in distributing or proliferating this technology to rest of the world by skilling our youth, because we have the data, we have the experience in dealing with this, and that I believe is what we can take to the world that is making us financially inclusive today and will make rest of the world more financially inclusive as our skill sets.
That sounds so promising. Thank you, thank you. I would love to ask, I have so many questions prepared, but in the interest of time, I'm just going to ask one last question. I'll give you 3 very simple options, and you can pick one of them. If India were to anchor Asia Pacific's fintech talent agenda, what single culture, mindset, value, or institutional norms must we build first? Should it be the mindset, the value, or the institutional norm?
Yeah, I would say mindset. Yeah, because in the near future, AI and Gen AI is getting more and more important. It will affect all of the business function, all the industry, and most of the job roles. The way people work with AI will be different from today. So the culture or habitual behavior is very, very difficult to change. So we need education to educate all of the new generation, their mindset, how they work together with the AI as a colleague in the new organization structure. That will be my view.
Thank you, Prof. Wang. Sanjeev?
I'd vote, I'd second what Professor said. I think mindset is paramount here, not because not because just new technologies, new form factors of disruption may be coming, but because the world we are looking at now, we are a young country, we are a very populated country, but in order to make that as our strength, we have to be adaptable to multicultural value systems, which I believe our education system, our growing up system misses a little bit. We are not that much exposed to a lot of different cultures, especially international cultures. And if that is something that we become more adaptable to, we are open to new ideas, then we'll be adjusting to new cultures and as well as new technologies as they come.
Thank you.
Yeah, for me, it will be values. High level of empathy. Our country is already known for Vasudev Kutumbakam. We don't look at barriers for us, no. Everybody is part of the family. High level of empathy to see the pain and suffering, no, be it in society, be it in families, be it in countries. And that high level of empathy to understand the pain would propel us to find solutions. And technology, fintech, insurtech, whatever you call, those would be, or generative AI, those would give us enough tools to solve those problems. I think if we develop that high level of values and principle and high level of empathy, then obviously all this comes into play, and that would lead to a different world altogether. I think that is the thing that we should be focusing on.
Thank you, Dr. Singhal. Carrie, would you like to add something to that?
Yes, all of the above, but I do want to highlight.
You have one option.
Yeah, value, because I think while we look at tech, we see a huge potential. We also be very mindful. It's a double-edged sword. So when we look at the potential, we also need to have AI security, tech security in mind by design. Because in the future, you will see more LLM, more improvements on the accuracy. But then, I think then competition comes in, like whose solution is more reliable and secure. This is like my take. So having the right set of values, understanding when technology is deployed and when you need to set the guardrail is very important as well as part of the next transformation.
Thank you so much, Carrie. And one last question to finish it all again for the whole panel. If you look 5 to 10 years ahead, what new fintech or insurtech roles or competencies do you anticipate will emerge and require foresightful planning and training today? You can, go ahead, Prof.
Okay.
Wong.
Yep. So I expect the AI will be more powerful. So now most of the AI is still just summarizing or extraction information from all kinds of text. But I expect in the future, AI will be built into a lot of the user interface. You just converse with the software or a website, and the AI can help you to achieve your task or goal, interact with the company. So I think company may need to be prepared about that, and that the first mover will gain more advantages. Yeah.
Thank you.
I believe there are two planes to see here. One is the plane of cutting edge technology, where there is a lot of disruption happening, like AI, blockchain, where transaction form factors, financial form factors will migrate to. So adaptability over there will be paramount. But otherwise, there will be a large demand for physical skill sets, as in identifying fraud, which AI is more pattern based. It will only act on historical data that has been produced. But then the kind of frauds that will evolve in the newer world may not have been seen before. So there are a lot of human intelligence, a lot of objective analysis of data that will be required. So hence, developing skills in terms of technology by adapting to technologies like AI and blockchain is paramount. But in addition to that, the physical analysis, the ability to underwrite, those are also some of the skill sets that we need to develop in order to adapt ourselves to the future.
Thank you.
In my view, the way technology is progressing, or the way generative AI is progressing, it is reaching to a simplification mode where anybody can use technology to the highest order. So what's going to happen is, and the worry is more when you talk of skilling, is that the entry-level jobs, as you see currently, they would disappear. You're already seeing that happening. You're already seeing massive layoffs happening at an entry-level job. While you talk of skilling, the problem statement here is generative AI and the way it's developing and the way it's been discussed would take away the current entry-level jobs in this form.
Right.
But it also create massive amount of different skill sets required in different kind of jobs. The speed at which maybe a product comes out, the speed at which a solutioning comes out, the cost structure which goes down. Like he mentioned, the analytics of fraud that may happen, the way it has to happen, you'll have a huge amount of jobs which you can't even imagine today would get created in the next 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Now, when you talk of upskilling and when you talk of reskilling, my worry is that are we still taking the base of the current environment to take it to the next level? Is that the right strategy? Or the strategy is to rethink, have the tools, and see that potentially the way people think of trying to solve issues and that speed at which they can use these tools as it develops, we will do that and create something which you can't even imagine today. So that skilling would be more important than an entry-level skilling, which I feel in the current structure would get disrupted at a hyper speed. So it's a full shift happening. It is not from the current base that we try to move to the next level. That era is gone now.
Right. So we are always worried about AI taking away jobs, which is happening, but then what I hear is also that it creates so many more opportunities, but at the same time, we have to plan to train our workforce to take advantage of those opportunities. We can't be falling behind. Carrie, last thoughts from you?
Yeah, I think having a more comprehensive ecosystem approach is important. I want to expand a little bit on what I have actually mentioned. At International, we are not focusing on foundational computing, but where we see the gaps is really the application layer. So we actually recently just rolled out our Gen AI cockpit project, announcing with Google as a first partner. We are actually building a platform where we can aggregate the fintech ecosystem demand, but we will work with all the tech companies at the back end to source their computational power. And on top of that, we build an application layer where a lot of the fintech players and banks can plug and play and access to a full suite of library of Gen AI agent tool that serve different needs of like their transformational journey. So having this kind of innovative model is quite important. So we are not just bogged down to just one business model. There's actually a lot of like different ways to access to the tech capacity. And this is important to keep in mind when we train our talents, not just to focus on just like one part of that whole ecosystem, but we should look into the holistic, like wide range of like the ecosystem and then see where the skill set gaps are, where talents can be upskilled and reskilled to fill those gaps down the road.
Thank you so much. So what I hear again is upskilling, very, very important. We are taking a very important step here in Odisha today. I thank you so much for your time. Carrie, thank you for joining us from Singapore. Can we have a big round of applause for the panel here? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
The panel and the moderator. Once again, can we have another round of applause for all of them? That was a very impactful discussion that we just had. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get the stage ready for our next segment, it is imperative that we also shed some light on the 4-pillar strategy based on which the Odisha government is fostering fintech collaboration with GFTN to position the state as a fintech hub of India. So the first pillar is global learning that aims to empower 7,000 students from across Odisha through a fintech and insurtech professional certification program with the support of NUS, AIDF and GFTN. The second is global mindshare that would witness global platforms like the Black Swan Summit coming to Bhubaneswar in the first quarter of 2026. Global innovation, establishment of a world-class startup and incubation support for a future-ready fintech ecosystem in Odisha, and financial technology global capability hub, positioning Odisha as a partner of choice for all the global and national GFTN's partner financial institution. And of course, you would get to know more about these pillars as the evening progresses. But before everything, we would like to take this opportunity to extend a very, very warm welcome to Honorable Union Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, who is already here with us, and Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Health and Family Welfare Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Mukesh Mahaling ji. A very, very warm welcome to both of them. And ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for a very special conversation. One that bridges vision with action and policy with purpose. Joining us for a fireside chat is a leader whose commitment to development, education, skilling, and empowerment has shaped the aspirations of millions across India. We are once again honored to welcome Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Honorable Union Minister of Education, a proud son of the soil whose heart always beats for Odisha and its people. Whether in parliament or policy circles, he has been a steadfast advocate for the state's progress, championing youth, innovation, and inclusive development. Under his leadership, India's education ecosystem is undergoing a remarkable transformation, one that places students, skills, and startups at the heart of our growth story. Shri Pradhan has always advocated for preparing our youth for the global innovation economy, and one of the foundational pillars of Odisha's fintech strategy, as I was just mentioning, is global learning, empowering those 7,000 students from across the state through the certificate in fintech and insure tech. So ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready for shaping the future of finance through talent, technology, and the path to innovation, we would like to take this opportunity to invite Honorable Union Minister Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji along with Shri Swapnendu Mohanty, Group CEO GFTN, for a fireside chat. Can we have a big round of applause for two proud sons of this soil? Let's welcome them with a huge round of applause. Shri Mohanty, who has previously served as the first Chief FinTech Officer of the Monetary Authority of Singapore and has launched flagship initiatives like the Singapore FinTech Festival, and Project Ubin has been hailed as Singapore's FinTech honcho by Bloomberg for his vision of building a nation's Silicon Valley in digital finance. So over to you, Shri Mohanty, for this fantastic fireside chat.
Hello, hello.
Thank you. Anyway, good evening, and it is a deep pleasure to finally have a chance to question you. You have been spending your whole life questioning me. Today I have a chance to question you.
Thank you.
So I'm not going to use this, lose this opportunity. At least ask some tough question, if you allow me.
Please.
Now, I got to know Dharmendra bhai, if I can call you, and I think 2 years back we met during COVID over a
4 years back.
4 years back over Zoom call, and after that we met in Singapore in I think May last year, and subsequent to that we caught up again in Singapore in October, and in both the visit you had a very pertinent observation about Singapore, and you said that how come a small country like Singapore, which is the size of Singapore, the size of Bhubaneswar and Cuttack together, with no natural resources, only human resource, could become a global, a very affluent country. And you asked me, can Odisha replicate the Singapore model? So I have two questions for you, Dharmendra bhai. What drove you to Singapore to look for a model, and why do you believe that Singapore model can come to Odisha? So please enlighten us that whole journey, because today all of you don't know what we see today is an idea which came from Dharmendra bhai last year. So a big round of applause to him. And from that moment, he never allowed me to stay still. So I must ask him, what drove you to what we have today?
Thank you, Swapnendu ji. You are forgetting we met 4 years ago in a video conference in Zoom. In those days, we all are in the lockdown. I asked my office to organize some video conference. Prominent Odia community, those who are staying in the outside country, what is their experience, how they are thinking, what will happen. In those days, nobody was knowing what will happen after 15 days. A lot of uncertainty were there. I came to know about Swapnenduji before that also. In one of my, once I read about him, the then government in Odisha appointed him as financial advisor of government. So I started inquiring, who is this Swapnendu Mahanti? Then I found this a banker come technocrat, now staying at Singapore. Then I forgot. Then in the video conference, I could make out this is Swapnendu Mahanti. And on that day, Swapnendu ji was little bit aggressive. He said, what is this Zoom meeting? Do you really want to engage us, or you want to have another Photoshop for your interest? That was not in my mind, but that word, that aggressive word, stuck to my mind. Then I decided that day I have to bring back this gentleman to Odisha again. Then when subsequent meeting, when I asked him, why didn't you continue your engagement? There was other preoccupation with Singapore Financial Authority. He could not devote time in those days. Then we discussed. And the basic question he said, what impressed on Singapore? How it come to your mind? You want to replicate Singapore with Odisha. When Swapnenduji, when I was Minister of Petroleum, I had been to Singapore for a road show. We visited Jurong Island. And I came through the Jurong Island, I came to the inception of Singapore, Liku, I study all these things. And I had been to NUS, I had been to NTU, and I saw ecosystem. I met lot of Odia people also in that ecosystem. That struck to mind, what is the region, a small landmass, very disadvantaged landmass, has created its economy, its governance, its new perspective in a so short span. With lot of resource, lot of talent, lot of opportunity, lot of exposure. Odisha is a land of globalization since centuries ago. From this part of land, navigation started more than 100,000 years ago. So this is the exposure we have, but still, what are the region we are lagging behind? So I went to western part of the globe. I always thought this is not replicable in our situation. Lot of resource, lot of costly models, lot of innovations, lot of standards are very different. So always I thought, what is the replicable model for eastern part of the country? It's not only Odisha, it's eastern part of country. Then we met, we discussed, and what are the basic strengths of Odisha? There are natural resources in Odisha. There are a lot of huge coastal area in Odisha. There is a lot of forestry in Odisha. But above all, there is a huge talent pool which we represent. If you can, my basic thing, what impressed me on Singapore, one thing. If Swapnendu Mahanti can create a place for himself in the high ops in the Singapore, the Odia boys can do anything if they will get opportunity. That creates a confidence on me. That creates a confidence. Here, Swapnendu Mahanti is representing the aspiration of young Odias. Many Swapnendu Mahantis are there. I am always confident. If we, as a policy in charge, if we will create level playing field, if we will create an ecosystem, then local talent can flourish, they can do wonders, and you are not a student of Ravenshaw College.
College.
You are a student of FM College. That inspires me. You can create a Singapore in Odisha. Your FM College studentship can create confidence among Odisha's youth. We can create a huge ecosystem in Odisha. I am happy. You are forgetting, Swapnendu Mahanti took me to, I had an appointment with on my second visit to Singapore with the then senior minister who is fortunately president of Singapore, Excellency Tharman. Both of we, after having some coffee in one small coffee shop in Singapore, my appointment was there with Senior Minister Tharman. He escorted me up to the Singapore Financial Authority's own office. He said, this is my office. Then he sent me to the Senior Minister Tharman's office. During my discussion, I asked him, can we have some link, intellectual link with Singapore and India? Then I specifically asked Odisha. So he said, and I asked about the fintech. What is there in a fintech? He said, do you know there is a Odia boy working in Singapore Financial Authority? Do you know him? I said, he's just behind your waiting room. He's there. He escorted me here. Then he recommended none else than President. Today he is President of Singapore. President Tharman recommended me, Swapnendu Mahanti to me to have more contact. Then when we met subsequently, I think we last time, subsequently we met at Gandhinagar.
Yes.
With the present Prime Minister.
Yes.
With the present Prime Minister.
Yes, Mr. Lawrence Wong.
Lawrence Wong, and then we decided to do something substantive in Odisha. Then I can't forget one name in this discussion. In between, I met another gentleman, my dear friend Sanjeev Bajaj, the CEO of, the owner of Bajaj Insurance Group. Became coincident, we all three became common friends. Swapnendu and Sanjeev both are good friends. I became that club, and we decided to create an instrument in Odisha. Fortunately, Lord Jagannath was great. There was a change of government in Odisha. That's the trigger point for me. Then I requested our Chief Minister, who is going to inaugurate this initiative after a few minutes. I requested him, can you send your IT Minister and two of your senior officials, Vishal Devji and anyone? Then the Chief Minister decided to send Finance Secretary, Shashwat Mishra and Vishal Dev, and my dear friend Mukesh Mahaling, the IT Minister. After they came back, I can candidly admit on behalf of Mukesh Mahaling asked, after coming back, he said, I could make out what is fintech. In Singapore, he asked Mr. Mahanti, tell me, se Odia re pacharla je mate fintech ta bujhao. Se bado dui jana option sang jaiji tangu pachari paribani mantri sabu janichi. Tenu se bado namrata saha Odia bhasha re pacharla. I am speaking this part of in Odia because there is a trade secret. So se pacharla Odia pilamane su bashchen se pacharla Swapnendu bhai ko ratire je bhai mate bujhao ye fintech ta kon. I am thankful you teach him properly. And both the sharp officer, both Vishal Devji and Shashwat, they come out, the team come out with convincing view. We must have a ecosystem of Singapore Financial Authority, which is now known as GFTN, with Odisha. Then we can create a ecosystem, because every year, lot of graduates are coming out of institutions, but there is a lack of competency. They are not skilled, they are not upskilled. Sometimes they need to be reskilled. There is a lacuna in the education ecosystem of India, which has been recommended few models in the National Education Policy. In a way, I am thankful, being in charge of country's education department, education sector, I am thankful we are creating a new instrument of skilling, reskilling, upskilling of graduate students. And today, this is the auspicious day, successfully, both Singapore government and Indian government and Odisha government, this tripartite agreement what we had did during President Tharman's visit in Odisha, today it is materializing, and I am very much thankful to you personally, Swapnenduji. We must create a new ecosystem, our Odia brothers and sisters.
Thank you. It's a long history, as you can see. But I have a very particular question beyond Odisha for you. Now, at least my belief is that with India's population, it's impossible even you as an education minister to make every college as a top-class college. How do you think 30 million, I believe 30 million undergraduate from India.
40 million.
40
every year, 10 million students are passing out.
What is your thinking? Because end of the day, we need to create jobs. How do you expect that this 40 million student find a pathway to get a job or a similar kind of opportunity as a national strategy?
Thank you, Swapnendu. This is a very good and pertinent question. Every year, 10 million students are coming out of colleges as graduate. Looking into this scenario, and there is a false aspiration, false ego, I can say, ego in the students who are graduate. But regarding their employability, regarding their competency, there are a lot of questions are there. Even graduate engineers, 1.5 million graduate engineers are passing out every year. They are going to job market. Few years ago, there was a demand-supply dislocation. Demand side was up, supply side was slow. Today, on the engineering graduate, there are a lot of supply availability, but there is less demand. With the new changing geopolitical situation and instrument like AI, new challenges are coming up. Yes, as a state, as a policy in charge, as a government, we have to plan how do you place our students in a proper pathway. Looking into that, Prime Minister Modi has rightly said, degree are important, but competency is much more.
That's a very good point.
We have to create competency at different level. NEP is recommending skill-based education from class 6 onward now. Now we are implementing new curriculum from 6 to 8 in CBSE boards. There is a skill component as a subject. Previously, it was optional, it was elective. Now, skill is a subject in curriculum. 9th and 10th, skill orientation will be more focused. And 11th and 12th, there is specific specialization according to the choice of the student. Beyond that, we want to create new ecosystem in the higher education. Today, our higher education number are 40 million. If we go by NEP recommendation by 2030, we have to increase this ratio up to, this is 28% now. We have to increase this ratio up to 50%. GR should be 50% by next 5 years. That means by end of 30, the absolute higher education student number will be more than 90 million. We have to, that is the challenge, here lies the challenge. What will they do? Will be the simple graduate? Will they be equipped with some skill? Now, this kind of instrument, Government of India, industry and academia, both have to come together. We have to create a new skill architecture, new employability cohort, new entrepreneurial cohort. Nowadays, in every institution, we are focusing on E-clubs, entrepreneur clubs. In every institution, we are focusing on I-clubs, that means innovation club. Thanks to Prime Minister Modi, due to his continuous drive and effort, he has created a brand on innovation. Today, India is in a very comfortable position in the Global Innovation Index. Today, we are in the one of the prominent country as innovator country. We have to rely on the talent of our youth, and I am confident if we can create the new pathway. New pathway means more job-oriented, entrepreneur-oriented. Just let me cite one example. When Prime Minister Modi took charge of this country, few hundred startups were there. Today, the startup number in our country is 1,57,000 startups are there. Many more unicorns are there. They all are coming without capital, only through ideas. We can create that kind of ecosystem. We have to rely on faith and trust on the youngsters of our country. There must be a tie-up between policymakers like me, industry people like you, and academia like institutions, universities. I'm thankful, due to your effort, the prestigious NUS, National University of Singapore, is part of today's this kind of initiative.
Yes. Now you raised a very good point. We always talk about jobs, people looking for jobs. You also spoke about there's a need for people who can create jobs, the entrepreneurs. In your education policy, are you seeing a shift to encourage students not to look for jobs, but create more jobs? Your thought process and how you see this journey going? Because end of the day, there's a limit to create jobs. We have to find new ways to create entrepreneurs who can create jobs at a scale. Where do you see India standing? Where do you see your own thinking about our readiness to create jobs?
Swapnenduji, you know, India is an enterprising society.
Yes.
Basically, by nature, India is an enterprising society. And they are innovator. I strongly believe innovation and entrepreneurship is the DNA, is a part of the DNA of Indian subcontinent. But nowadays, we have to recreate a model. And if I cite again these 2-3 examples, see the startup number in our country, see the risk-taking capability of our youth. Today, if I go to any campus, any IIT, NIT or any university, my simple question to all my student friends, young friends, do you want to job seeker or job creator? And wholeheartedly people said, if you give us opportunity, we will be like to job creator. I met on the 15th August, Prime Minister Modi announced from the Red Fort, appeal to the youngsters of country, go and become job creator, become wealth creator. I have full trust in the youth of country, student of this country, to see that, because during the recently we celebrate Operation Sindoor, successful, its success in recent past. In those days, we could found India have to be self-reliant in many ways. When we're talking about India has to be self-reliant in many ways, from defense to agriculture, from healthcare to AI technology.
We have a drone startup from Odisha.
That boy has done wonder. This time our Odisha's boy, who was a student of Burla Engineering University, Veerasurendra Engineering University, he has created a national vibe in this days in the Operation Sindoor sideline. He is a very clever boy. He is not disclosing his figure of how many drones. Thrice I have asked him how many drones you have supplied to Indian Army. As a trade secret, he is not disclosing his number. But looking into his eyes, I am confident he has earned good amount of money. Not only that, gentleman, I saw a young girl, a group, one boy and girl. What are they doing? Both of them are students of NIT Rourkela, very prestigious institution of Odisha. Both of them are doing Goat Bank in far away Kalahandi district. Far away Kalahandi, through community participation. Like Amul has given cow and buffalo to the villagers and brought buy back their milk and created a cooperative movement. In a similar model, now young people of Odisha are going back to the distant part of Odisha and they are creating ecosystem. I met a young boy 4 days ago on the 17th August in Delhi IIT. He came and told me, sir, I have place, I will not go for any internship. I will not go to attend any placement. I will do entrepreneurship. Now I am confident that looking into the present scenario, lot of quality youngsters are joining entrepreneurship, and Government of India through its different kind of schemes and as a whole, as a society. 10 years ago, angel investor was a dictionary word for Indian investors. Startup fund was a distant word.
Yes.
Fund of the fund we only go through by some economic assessment. Today, all these are the buzzword of Indian community, Indian investors scenario, and there is a trust, there is a confidence among youth and investors of this country. Only disadvantaged group is, very reluctant group is government. Government has to convince itself, we must believe our young people, yes. We must believe our entrepreneurs.
Sure. Now, just a change in topic. When we are doing this initial test for this particular course, we saw a data which to me was a huge surprise. Number of girls applying to the course was more than number of boys. And the number of people who did a good were better than the boys. The girls are doing better than the boys. Any thought process why the girls are doing much better than the boys in this whole education system?
Because in country and also in Odisha, girls are always better than boys. As a politician, I was to getting their votes, I was interpreting in this way 4 years ago, till 4 years ago. When I became education minister, I go by the data. Do you know this year, the STEM education participation is, girls are much ahead of boys. They are into core science. They are innovators.
So this is a huge opportunity for tapping the human talent to go behind the education process for the girls to be part of the economic development. Is there any specific thing you are doing as a Union Education Minister to encourage more girls to participate as an entrepreneur or as a job seeker? Any specific thing you are doing?
There are many schemes. From the Government of India point of view, I can cite few examples in the recently formed Odisha government also. unless until we emphasize empowerment of women in all aspects, be it financial, be it social, be it in education. We have to empower our womanhood. She is the key of the turnaround of the society. We strongly believe. In Odisha, you know you are a strong believer. I know you are a strong believer of Lord Jagannath. And I request all of you, those who are coming first time to Odisha or second time to Odisha, you must visit Lord Jagannath. In our system, Sister Subhadra has a unique place. And Mahalakshmi has a unique place also. And in Puri Mandir, there is a Mandir of Ma Bimala. So in Odisha, there is we are a deity, we are very dedicated to our goddesses. From historical background, if you go by Odisha's socio-economic movement, Malati Devi, Rama Devi, in political leadership, in literature, Nandini Satpathy, these are the women leaders of the society, those who have lead from the front, and they always inspired. This is the case of all India also, especially in the eastern part of India. We have a respectable position for women, and our government, from stand-up Yojana to giving opportunity in the military forces, we are giving more importance to women forces. In Odisha also, the recently elected new government has come out with an ambitious scheme for women, Subhadra.
Subhadra scheme.
Now my idea will be, my suggestion will be to you, you are creating a new skill set in our state. Sometime we have to plan how do you link this skill set with the Subhadra beneficiary.
Absolutely.
Among them, lot of educated young women are there. How to create a new, because if a person can book his choicest meal in Blinkit, I can see a day a lady from rural part of India will send quality pitha to you through Blinkit-like instrument developed by this fintech ecosystem to Singapore, because we have a direct flight to Singapore. This kind of policy we have to envision and
Absolutely.
implement in Odisha.
Absolutely. Now, the very personal question, Dharmendra bhai. You know, you have been, as an education minister, you have been seeing students from all part of India and, of course, overseas. What you see as the strength of a Odia boy or girl compared to other boys and girls of different states? Of course, as a union minister, you are fair to everybody. And what weakness you see our own boys and girls from Odisha, they have to overcome? Something is missing because we don't have the real brand globally as a state. People look as for talent. What is that weakness and or strength you think we got to over project now?
I will answer one part in English. I would like to answer one part in Odia.
Aage Odia ta kohuntu.
Na ag English ta
Oh, thik achi.
Because Odisha, I strongly, my leader, the late Arun Jaitley, has always said one thing about Odia people. Dharmendra, you Odia have one strength. You are intellectually very clear and sound. Why you, be it in judicial system, be it in medicine, be it in academician, be it in administration. Odias are excellent in every aspect. This is the bright, this is the silver line of Odia's talent pool. And I strongly believe if Swapnendu and Bodhisattva can create wonders and create a global wave with their background, every Odia, if given the opportunity, I am in charge of opportunity. I am the policy maker. My responsibility, my dear Vishal Dev's responsibility is there to create the ecosystem. We have to create a level playing field. Sometimes those people like me, those who are in administration, we think we know everything. So we create a hurdles between opportunity and aspiration of society and reality. That barrier has to be break, and Odisha is breaking that barrier. I am confident of the right path of that. ମୁଁ जोड़ा कहली जोड़ा ओडिया कहबी बोली आमे समस्ते टिके अधिका भाग्यवादी आमे मझिरे मझिरे अजथा स्वाभिमानी हो जाऊ निजको कौनसी प्रतियोगिता रे प्रस्तुत न करिकी जेतले कारण डर काले फेल हो जिबा काले सांग माने हसिबे काले हम झियो संगडा बेसी हसी दबो काले हम घरे निंदा मिलिबो ताले कोन में कबे न करले भलो ये जो गोटे आत्मविश्वास किछि समय पय हम भीतर अभाव हुए सेटा हमकु बड़ कामरु निवृत्त करे आम ओडिया लोक मानक दुस्साहसी भावे मु निर्लज कहबिनी एकदम दक्षतार सह दुस्साहसी हवा पाई पड़िबो तेबे जाय कि ओडिया इन ओडिशा डू यू नो इन ओडिशा We fought calling a war.
And we took a lot of risk as a sea
Oh
trader.
yes, as a seafarer, we took a lot of risk. We fought calling a war.
Yes.
Do you know a small boy in my own district, Dhenkanal, at the age of 12, he faced the bullet of Britishers without any fear.
So what happened?
We have to rekindle the spirit of Baji Raut and Bakshi Jagabandhu and Veera Surendra Sai and the spirit of Kalinga Yudha again in the 21st century in our state.
That's a huge change as a culture we must have. Now, I know we are running out of time, but I have a couple of questions. What will be your message to the corporate leader who will be supporting us in this scheme? What role they should play? Because at the end of the day, we have to depend on them to give jobs.
I'm thankful to you, Swapnenduji, you put this question, and today when you give me an opportunity to meet few friends, those who are here with your invitation and the government of Odisha's invitation, my first question, how do you like Odisha? Overwhelmingly, they all said we like Odisha. Believe me, Odisha is a good place. Come Odisha again and again. Odisha has 2-3 things. Odisha has a lot of talents. Odisha is a peace-loving state. Odisha is a state of Lord Jagannath. We believe in cooperation. You believe in Bhaichara. And yes, we have some challenges, but be assured, the new government led by Shri Mohan Majhi will facilitate you red carpet. All kind of cooperation will be extended to you, what is available in the national sphere and beyond that also. The GFTN is a special initiative by government of Odisha, believing on you. And I am happy today you are all here in a good number. And Swapnendu rightly said, Odisha, Swapnenduji, Odisha girls are not only talented in technology sector, in the STEM sector. If you go to the textile industry of country, you will find a substantial number of Odia girls. Those girls' age is maximum 25, 18 to 25 in those age group. Lakhs of Odia girls are working in the different, be it Surat, be it Coimbatore, be it Tirupur. I strongly believe Odia people are honest. Once I had been to Surat. I asked my good friend, Gujarati entrepreneur, what is your experience in Odia with Odia people? He said they are into diamond cutting, diamond polishing industry. They said Odia people are honest, Odia people are hardworking, Odia people are content people. These 3 things of Odia society will create a positivity for all of you. Please come to Odisha, please hire Odia people. GFTN and NUS and government of Odisha's instrument will create good talent pool for you. Have faith on us, and my invitation will extend it to you. Please open your back-end office, GCC, in Odisha also.
You know, thank you, Dharmendra. Last, I know my dream, sitting in Singapore, I want to make Odisha as the twin city to Singapore. Any message to Singaporeans when we go back to home? What should we think about Odisha?
Swapnenduji, you and your team, we all are indebted to you. You have created a really good deliverables for Odisha. Both of us, Odisha and Singapore, India and Singapore, they are natural allies. I know the depth of our relationships in Atal Bihari
And you are very popular in Singapore. All ministers love you.
Thank you. It's your special affection. So, but I believe Singapore is the nearest economic hotspot for us. From Odisha, we have 2 hotspots. One is Singapore, another is Dubai. But personally, I feel Singapore has its more advantageous position than Dubai. Due to its climate, due to its rain, due to its food habitation. There are a lot of similarity between Odisha and Singapore. Many more we are expecting Jurong in some of our industrial clusters in Odisha. We want green hydrogen industry of Singapore base. They should come to Odisha.
Sure.
In manufacturing, Singaporean companies should come to Odisha because we are nearby, we are strategically positioned. Our relationship will go beyond our normal human relationship.
Thank you, Dharmendra ji. And with all your support and help, we from Singapore would love to be part of your journey, your dream. Thank you very much.
We'd like to once again thank Honorable Union Minister Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji for sharing valuable insights with us. I'm sure this fireside chat would have fired up the GFTN team to work even harder in the days to come. Thank you so much. And at the same time, I would also take this opportunity to welcome Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Sports and Youth Affairs, Odia Language, Literature and Culture, Government of Odisha, Shri Suryavanshi Suraj, who is here with us. A warm welcome to him. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get the stage ready for our formal ceremony, we are expecting the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Majhi ji, to join us very shortly, and we'll be starting with the formal ceremony. But before that, as I was talking about the 4 pillars, and if you remember, I spoke about global mind share, that would witness global platforms like the Black Swan Summit coming to Bhubaneswar in the first quarter of 2026. We have a very short video of Black Swan Summit, if you can take a look at it while we get the stage ready for the formal ceremony. So can we play the video, please?
In a world of relentless disruption and boundless innovation, there is one balance we cannot afford to break. As machines shape the future, nature remains irreplaceable. Join us at the Black Swan Summit to explore how disruptive technologies are transforming the world, while safeguarding its delicate balance. Or are they?
Pradhan, accompanied by the Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha, and the Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Government of Odisha. They are interacting with our young students who are already here as part of this momentous occasion today. Global learning, one of the 4 pillars. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll like to inform you, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Majhi will be here any moment from now. So we'll request everybody to please stay settled and continue keeping your mobile phones in silent mode. Along with the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha for the formal ceremony, we'll also have the esteemed presence of Honorable Union Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Health and Family Welfare and Parliamentary Affairs, Govt of Odisha, Dr. Mukesh Mahaling. We'll have the presence of Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Sports and Youth Affairs, Odia Language, Literature and Culture, Govt of Odisha, Shri Suryavanshi Suraj, Principal Secretary, Electronics and IT and Energy Departments, Govt of Odisha, Shri Vishal Kumar Dev, Commissioner cum Secretary, Higher Education Department, Govt of Odisha, Shri Arvind Agarwal, Group CEO, Global Finance and Technology Network, Shri Swapnendu Mahanti, and also MD and CEO of Bajaj Alliance General Insurance, Dr. Tapan Singhel. So all of these dignitaries will be present with us for the formal launch ceremony, which we are about to start in a very short while from now. We would like to acknowledge the presence of Honorable MP Jajpur Shri R.N. Behra, who has joined us, and also Honorable MP Kandhamal Shri Sukanta Panigrahi. A very warm welcome to both of them to this event. Thank you, sir, for your esteemed presence. I'll once again request बाहरे जदि एबे भी को माने मु देखि परछि किछि जण हमर अतिथि माने अछंती तांको समस्त को अनुरोध करबी आपण माने बसी पड़ंतु माननीय मुख्यमंत्री खूब शीघ्र हम गहणरे आसी पहुंचबे. We are expecting the Honorable Chief Minister to join any time now, and so I'll once again request everybody who's outside this hall, please do come inside, take your seats. Once again, in case you have switched on your mobile phones or have kept them back in action mode, I'll once again request, do not forget to keep them back in silent mode before the formal ceremony begins. Like I had said, this is definitely a very, very important occasion for all the stakeholders of the fintech ecosystem who are here with us today. We are very grateful for their presence. And as all of us keep repeating the inspiring words of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, every time, we talk about Odisha and we think about him, we think about that one line that he had said during the Utkarsh Odisha Summit earlier this year. This is the time and this is the right time for Odisha. Yahi samay hai, yahi sahi samay hai. And we are just waiting for the sahi samay to come in a very few more minutes from now. It's been a wonderful evening so far, starting off with a beautiful cultural ceremony, followed by a very, very impactful, insightful panel discussion, and not to mention an absolutely engaging fireside chat with the Honorable Union Minister, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji. So, and now we are all geared up for the formal launch ceremony. to proceed for lighting the ceremonial lamp for an auspicious beginning to this event. That marks an auspicious beginning to the event. I request Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Majhi to join us on stage, along with Honorable Union Minister of Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Honorable Minister of Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha, Dr. Mukesh Mahaling, Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Government of Odisha, Shri Suryavanshi Suraj, Principal Secretary, Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha, Shri Vishal Dev, Commissioner cum Secretary, Higher Education Department, Shri Arvind Agarwal, Group CEO, GFTN, Shri Swapnendu Mahanti, and MD and CEO of Bajaj Alliance General Insurance, Dr. Tapan Singhel. A very warm welcome to our dignitaries on the dais, of the dais. I'll request everyone to please settle down at the back, and can we just close the door so that there are no disturbances. Thank you so much. So once again, a very warm welcome to all of you to Bharatnetra, One Vision, One Finance, One Future. An ambitious leap towards making Odisha a globally recognized fintech powerhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, this event today isn't just a ceremony. It is a signal to the world that Odisha is ready. Ready to lead with innovation, with digital inclusion, and with a bold new vision for the future of fintech. This event also gives out a loud and clear message as to how a state known for its rich culture and heritage is also scripting a future of intelligent finance, global skilling, digital equity, and inclusive innovation. On that note, could I request Shri Vishal Kumar Dev, Principal Secretary, Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha and IIT and IM alumnus, and the key architect behind Odisha government's fintech vision, who has tirelessly steered this effort to global fruition, to deliver the welcome address.
Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi ji, Honorable Union Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Health and Family Welfare and Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Mukesh Mahaling ji, Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Odia Language, Literature and Culture, and Sports and Youth Services Department, Shri Suryavanshi Suraj ji, my colleague, Secretary Higher Education, Arvind Agarwal, MD and CEO, Bajaj Alliance, Dr. Tapan Singhel, leaders from the fintech industry who are present here, MPs of Jajpur and Kandhamal, colleagues from various departments of the Government of Odisha, colleagues from Global Finance and Technology Network, from National University of Singapore, ladies and gentlemen. I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you all to our beautiful city of Bhubaneswar on the launch of the Integrated Global Finance and Technology Capability Hub, a historic and path-breaking initiative of the Government of Odisha in partnership with National University of Singapore, Global Finance and Technology Network. My friend Swapnendu Mahanti will be giving you details about the program, so I'd not really like to talk about that. What I want to do is to share the vision of the program with you and the background in which this program was launched. Friends, we are taking a leap of faith today with the ambition of putting Bhubaneswar among the top 3 fintech cities in the country. It's a very ambitious and challenging task indeed, I know that, but Odisha has been dealing with challenges and coming out on top for years. Every year we get battered and devastated by cyclones and several other natural calamities, but we come out of it. So we'll do something similar again. What makes me say this with even more confidence and conviction is that Odisha and this program is in perfect harmony. It's a classic example of perfect harmony between the central government and the state government, something which we informally call a double-engine sarkar. The two people responsible here for making this launch possible are both with us today, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha and Union Minister of Education. Honorable Chief Minister believes that Odisha should be, at the end of the day, that technology should, at the end of the day, contribute to bringing about inclusive development and improving the lives of common people. And electronics and IT sector has been very close to the heart of our Honorable Chief Minister. In fact, right after taking over in June, he had laid the foundation stone of a semiconductor company on the 6th of September last year. I'm happy to share with you that the company will commence trial production in December this year, and it will go into full-fledged production in March next year. Something which has been very fast. Honorable Chief Minister, after taking over, had given us very clear directions that our policy frameworks and the policy should be benchmarked to be better than the best that any state in the country can offer. So comprehensiveness and incentives. And again, friends, happy to share that today our policies, whether it's the industrial policy, the electronics policy, the semiconductor policy, they are not only comprehensive, but they offer the finest and the highest level of incentives that any state can offer. We were given a very clear mandate for doing that. And the result is there for you to see. Within less than 1 year, we've been able to bring out an artificial intelligence policy, the first state in the country to have done so. We have substantially revised our semiconductor policy last month when it was notified. And you're all aware that only last month, the Union Cabinet has approved 2 major semiconductor projects for the state of Odisha, 6M and 3DGS. And our IT policy is getting substantially revised, and the electronics component manufacturing policy is also going to be announced next week. These 2 policies, we are working on independent fintech and GCC policies, which are also likely to be announced very shortly. Talking about Honorable Union Minister for Education, you've all heard him during the Fireside chat. He is the one who sowed the seed for this program to be launched, and it is his consistent follow-up on the progress that has resulted in this project coming this far. Friends, what I want to say is that as a government, Odisha works more like a corporate, than a government in quotes. We are fast in decision making and faster in action. And the result is there for all of you to see. Odisha today stands among the top 3 investment destinations as far as manufacturing investments in the country are concerned. We are the biggest producer of minerals and metals in the country. About 35% of India's steel and 60% of India's aluminium is produced right here in Odisha. You can imagine the kind of opportunities that it creates for ancillary and downstream metal industries. We are number 1 on fiscal health index, which was released by Niti Aayog a few months back. We are a revenue surplus state, which very, very few states in the country can claim of, and revenue surplus by a huge margin. So what it means also is that we have the ability to meet and honor our commitments when it comes to giving incentives to the companies. There are several states which might promise you the moon, but when it comes to actually disbursing subsidies and incentives, they may not be able to honor or meet their commitments. We have that ability. Odisha has that ability. We have been a leader in disaster management. In fact, we have taught the rest of the world how disasters can be managed. We are growing at a rate significantly higher than the national average. Our per capita income has been growing consistently, and we've been able to reduce the gap between the national per capita income and the Odisha per capita income, which was about 31% in 2015. That gap has come down to 8%. And growing at this pace, I am very sure that by 2030, before the end of this current decade, our per capita income would be higher than the national per capita income. Ladies and gentlemen, the list goes on and on. There are many things that I can add to that, but due to paucity of time, I would like to summarize by saying a few things. One, Odisha today stands out among the states in the country as a model of good governance. It's a very exciting place to be in today with all these new opportunities that are coming up. And to quote Honorable Prime Minister, when he was here during our flagship investment summit Utkarsh Odisha, there were two things he had said for Odisha. He had said, to quote him, that Eastern India is a growth engine in the country and Odisha plays a key role in it. And he had said that Purvodaya, the development of East India, will start from Odisha. And the second thing he said is, Yahi samay hai, sahi samay hai. This is the time to invest in Odisha and be there. So with this, I would like to urge all the leaders and representatives of the fintech industry to join hands with us in this exciting journey, which I'm absolutely confident will be a win-win initiative for all of us. Thank you so very much, and welcome to our beautiful city once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shri, for setting the tone for the evening ahead. We have with us on stage Shri Swapnendu Mohanty, who has been instrumental in shaping the global fintech architecture, Singapore's first chief fintech officer at Monetary Authority of Singapore, and now as the group CEO of GFTN. So I'll request him to address this gathering.
Good evening, and thank you, Diksha, for getting me to speak here. And I'd like to say my sincere gratitude to Honorable CM Shri Mohan Charanji, Honorable Union Minister Mr. Dharmendra Pradhanji, IT Minister Dr. Mukesh Mahalanji, and Education Minister Shri Suryavanshiji. And of course, my dear friend, Secretary Vishalji, and Arvind, Secretary for Education. And of course, my new friend, Dr. Tapan. We are going to count a lot on him to make this program successful. Namaskar, Jai Jagannath. Well, let me start sharing with you how we started. It all started with my meeting with, as we discussed at the Fireside chat with Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhanji's coming to Singapore, and his insistence on that Swapnendu bring the Singapore model to Odisha. And after that, my life changed, and he kept on reminding me. He was not enough. He sent to Singapore at the Singapore FinTech Festival, IT Minister Dr. Mukeshji and Secretary Sashwatji from Finance, then Finance Secretary, and Vishalji, IT Secretary. And they came to Singapore, and after their experience in Singapore, Dr. Mukeshji told me the plan must begin now. Swapnendu, kama aram hai jao, let's get it done. Then came Honorable CM to Singapore. Honorable CM, I don't know whether you remember, ଆପଣ ମୋତେ ଗୋଟେ କଥା କହିଥିଲେ, ନିଜ ମାତୃଭୂମି ପାଇଁ କିଛି କର. And that became our moral compass. ସେଇ ୱାର୍ଡରୁ ଆମେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲୁ କାମ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଏଇ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ଟାକୁ ନେଇକି. ନାଇଁ ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ କଥା କହିଲେ, ସେଇ ହୋଲ୍ ସେସନରେ ଗୋଟେ କଥା କହିଲେ, ନିଜ ଜନ୍ମଭୂମି କିଛି କର. So thanks for giving the opportunity to do something for the state. After CM came to Singapore, the most unthinkable thing happened. Our president, His Excellency Mr. Tharman, he came to Odisha. People asked me, why is going to Odisha? And all the effort made by Honorable Union Minister Dharmendra ji and with CM coming to Singapore, he he was convinced that he should come to Odisha. And with his coming, we signed the MOU, and exactly after 8 months, we are here today. I think that record, I have not seen in my career that something so quickly could be done. From a MOU to 8 months, and today we are ready to launch this program. This goes to show how good the leadership of CM in making things happen so quickly. Of course, I must say, a lot of things happened behind the scene. And Vishalji, particularly for his clear and practical advice, how to get it done. Manasji, very tirelessly, he keeps on working day and night, and we must say a big thank you to him. And of course, supported by Dipankar, they never stopped working. Above all, one person behind the scene, always making things work, is Dr. Mukeshji. And I'm all going to thankful to you for everything you've done for this project. Of course, I want to say thank you to my NUS friends who have come all the way from Singapore to support this program, and my own GFTN team. But almost end to the program, we wanted to launch this education program, and that's where Sri Arvindji came. And he started his magic. And Honorable Minister Suryavanshiji came, and they told, don't worry, we'll get it done. I think within 1 week time, both Minister and Secretary got the magic done. And today we could get 375 students ready to be part of the program. Now, Vishalji told me that I should share with you how we are bringing the Singapore model here. Let me give you 4 points, how the Singapore model comes here. You know, Singapore is a small city-state, size of Bhubaneswar and Cuttack together. When I became the Chief Fintech Officer at the Singapore Monetary Authority of Singapore, one thing I understood, Singapore as a country has only one resource, that is people. And for me, that is a key to understand how to make a country successful by investing on talent. How do we go about upgrading our education system in Singapore? And I decided that that model should come to Odisha. To truly build a knowledge economy, we should build talent at a scale. And it's actually a very smart thing to do because you're not spending a lot of money on capital investment, you're just investing on people. And that's the reason why the first thing we did is to work with NUS and set up this unique program to upskill our students. I don't know whether you know about it, this particular program is not designed for engineers or higher education in terms of technical education. It's designed for ordinary graduates from colleges across different districts in Odisha. This is a unique model because nobody tried this model where they think that to get jobs, you should go to an engineering school. We decided to do against it. This program is unique because we are trying to upskill students from different districts of Odisha, from normal colleges across the state. And I believe if we get this right, this becomes the template for India to really upskill students across the country. So Odisha is going to play a very critical role in setting an example for India how to upskill people. I want to thank Union Minister Dharmendra ji and CM to give us opportunity to work for this unique pilot. And this is exactly the Singapore model, invest on people. The second part is, you know, having good talent is not enough. We have to tell the story. We have to tell the story. Singapore told the story of fintech using Singapore Fintech Festival. And today it's the world's largest fintech festival. And we tell our story once in a year through that whole big event. We are doing exactly the same thing for Odisha. We're going to bring here a unique program called the Black Swan Summit, where we'll bring global leaders to Bhubaneswar. We are hoping to do it in February next year and talk about the Odisha story, the talent in Odisha, what can be done out of here. We'll bring global CEOs, global leaders, have this discussion right in Bhubaneswar. And if we can get that right, we get the Odisha story right. So getting the story right is the second ingredient of Singapore, which we are bringing to Odisha. Now, the third element of success, getting the talent okay, getting the story okay is not enough. As we spoke at the Fireside chat, and Dharmendra bhai kahle, job seeker is not enough. We have to create job creators, entrepreneurs. And Singapore knew this. Singapore is always knows how to do the right thing when it comes to entrepreneurship. We built innovation labs. And that investment in Singapore made Singapore as the third largest fintech hub in the world. And we could get from $0 to $4 billion FDI annually in Singapore in a matter of few years. We will make Odisha a similar strategy. We are going to build the same strategy for Odisha. We are going to build an innovation ecosystem here, which will allow entrepreneurs, investors, academics to all come together. And GFTN is going to partner with Odisha government to set up the innovation center here. With that center, we're going to build the next generation of unicorn in this industry out of Odisha. I'm absolutely sure my Odia brothers and sisters will be able to come to the innovation center, build the next unicorn, and create job for the state. And an absolutely believer of entrepreneurship. Thank you very much. And the last part is, which is about creating the capability center. End of the day, all this we are doing is to create jobs. And Singapore knew it. And Singapore last 10 years was building this global capability center where globally in Asia Pacific, anybody wants to expand in Asia, they opened an office in Singapore and they hired the local talent. That becomes the Singapore success story. We are going to do the same for Bhubaneswar. We're going to build a GCC here, which is based on the same principle of getting the right talent, right ecosystem, and Singapore will serve the Asian market. If you take the global fintech market, Asia is going to be 2/3 of the economy, almost $1 trillion opportunity here. If Bhubaneswar can get it right, we can build the centers here. I'm pretty sure, Minister, that we can create thousands of jobs right in Bhubaneswar to serve the global market. With that, we have got the Singapore template to Bhubaneswar to Odisha. And I'm absolutely sure with this opportunity we got to work with the government, we are GFTN going to make one promise. Together, we'll deliver it. And I need all your support. I need the local ecosystem. I need the leadership support. So together, we can make it happen in Odisha, a global center for fintech. And together, we're going to shape the future journey. And I think the tagline, one vision, one finance, and one future is the real meaning of our partnership together. Jai Jagannath. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shrimanti, for your address and also for giving back to your home state through GFTN and by collaborating with the state government to help Odisha emerge as a global fintech innovation hub. May I now request Dr. Tapan Singhel, MD and CEO of Bajaj Alliance General Insurance, the insurance man of India, also well recognized as a thought leader, influencer, and the voice of the industry to address this gathering.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Minister Odisha, Honorable Union Minister for Education, Honorable Minister of Education, IT for Odisha, Secretaries, Honorable Secretaries of the Government of Odisha, and obviously Mr. Mohan. My friends from the industry, my friends from Singapore, it's such an honor and pleasure to be standing here to speak to all of you. Today when I speak, I shall have two hats while I speak. One as a citizen of India, and two as a chairman of the industry, general insurance industry, here as I speak. Let me speak about the citizen of India part first. In 2014, I was the chairman of the Indo-German Chambers. India was a partner country for Hanover Fair. Our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, we all went to Germany for the Hanover Fair. And when I was interacting there with the ministers and the business leaders, two things came out very clearly. One, people excited about the demographic dividend of India. And second was the model that they had. And I was thinking that while people are excited about the demographic dividend of India, if the youth of India does not get right job, not place, this dividend can actually become hugely negative over a period of time. It can become very alarming. And second, what I saw is the skilling system that they had was a dual system of education, where they would be looking at industry and education together. And that would become a huge talent force for the industry. And industries, again, when they would set up even small villages there, would become global industry. I think they had a huge mechanism by which they were putting that on together. And to me, it was a thought process as to how our country would be able to evolve to that kind of scenario to pick it up. Today in the morning when I met Mr. Mohan for breakfast, and as he spoke, I was filled with an immense sense of pride. Somebody who's thinking, and he spoke right now in terms of the learning that he had from Singapore, the way he's looking at talent, building the story, building things together, and how skilling would play an important role in development of Odisha. I was so very impressed with him. And then when I heard a union minister speak about education, about the way he's looking at education and putting it together, and the way he's looking at creating job creators, now more than job seekers, for a country like India, if that we don't get it right, then obviously the demographic dividend can become hugely negative for us, and over time it would not be something which is there. If India has to become a very powerful global force and a very powerful country, job creators have to move at a very hyper speed to get to that speed. And hearing him was amazing. And in the morning also the chance to interact with the minister, Mr. Mahaling, and his thought process in terms of how do you put it together. To me as a citizen of India, it was an immense moment of pride. And it's felt that, yes, the right thinking, the way we look at it, it is in safe hands. It is going to make a huge difference to our country. So today's event is not a small event. It is the seed of a thought process of re-looking at skilling in India, re-looking at how do we approach tier 2, tier 3 towns in India, how do we approach colleges and schools which have not been looked into, and how do we build a system in which propel talent to the next level, and that moves on to become entrepreneurs and good talent for the industry to come forward. It's a seed which is getting sown here. It's a very historic moment from a perspective of looking at how these things get done. And if the model works out well, and any success model the way it is, it shall get replicated all across, and that would be a huge boon, for the country as a whole. So to me, as a citizen, it fills me with immense sense of pride. It also fills me with a huge sense of responsibility as a corporate leader, and how do we support and make this successful, from that perspective. So I was talking to understand how many students would be there for this endeavor, and 750 was the answer which was there. And the skilling and the university from Singapore, they are partnering with it, and the courses, the way it is getting designed, and the way it puts into the industry. To my mind, if I look at the financial services, banking and insurance being an important part to it, it looked very exciting. So in fact, I told Mr. Mohanty that we shall put in our entire support an industry to see how this talent gets utilized and how does it develop to a very successful venture and makes a huge difference. Because there's always a shortage of talent. I've yet to meet a corporate leader who tells me that they have a surplus talent and they don't require talent. Yet to meet. Even in a country like India, where a population is over 1 billion, and we have so many universities and so much school, but when I speak to any corporate leader, I've yet to meet somebody who says that they have surplus talent. There's always a shortage of talent. There's always a shortage of people who are required to propel it to the next level. Now, if I look at insurance in India, we just have less than 100 insurance companies in India. If I look at globally, if I look at US has close to 6,000 insurance companies. In fact, a country like Brazil has over 1,000 insurance companies, which is there. India has a potential to have a couple of thousand insurance company into Indian market. One insurance company normally would provide job employment over 25,000 people. So if we talk about 1,000 insurance company, you're talking of 2.5 crore talent required to run this company. Does it have a potential? It has a potential. With a penetration which is as low as about 4% of the global average would be about 7% there is a huge potential for expansion. Why is insurance so critical for an economy or for the country? A simple thing like health insurance or trust mode or whatever we look at, about 10 crore Indians go below poverty line every year. It's a Niti Aayog report which was there, because they can't afford the healthcare expenses. Now, if you cover every citizen of India, it has a 1.2 to 1.5% GDP impact. Now, it's a leaking bucket. We may be growing at 6 to 7%. We're actually growing at about 8+% for that. A catastrophic loss, we heard about disaster management, a catastrophic loss happening pushes the economy down by about 2% in the Indian market. If we have fully well covered, it actually pushes our growth to over 9 to 10% as an economic growth which is happening there. Combine that together, a huge amount of talent requirement, couple of crores people's employment requirement, opening of the government to 100% FDI for insurance, that's on cards. So talent requirement is huge. The number I heard was 750, which was there. I was so confident that the insurance industry would be able to support the initiative to make it a grand success. And as I said, as a citizen of India, I felt immense sense of pride, listening to the initiatives happening. As a professional, as a corporate leader, it's my commitment that we shall work to ensure that this becomes a great success. A historic moment today, and I think we all are blessed to be a part of this, to be part of this place here. And I was super impressed with Odisha. So let me give you a story. 2002-03, we were building up our business in Odisha. We're setting up branches here, Sambalpur and all. And one thing which I used to be very, very impressed even then were the people of Odisha and the love that we got. In fact, I used to come to Bhubaneswar, I used to ensure I would go on a very lean food 2 or 3 days before that, where everybody would invite me for dinner at their home, and I would every day have at least 3 dinners. The love was so much which was there. It was amazing, and that feeling I still had. I came after many years today. In fact, this also was very, very, how should I say, divine intervention, I would say. A couple of days back, Rath Yatra had happened, and I had the intense desire that I've not been to Lord Jagannath for many years now. I just had this desire, and suddenly I get a mail that I should be here, and I had to go to Bombay. Bombay had floods. I got that cancelled, and I came up here, and I landed here, and my team took me to Lord Jagannath, even though I not told them. I went and visited Lord Jagannath and was here. So a lot of things which I see, from Odisha perspective, the love have for this place, and the way it has got developed phenomenally well. A commitment from our side to ensure whatever best we can do to make it a grand success. But amazing. Thank you all. Thank you for your time, and God bless everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Singhal, for that wonderful industry perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have the esteemed presence of Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Government of Odisha, Shri Suryavanshi Suraj, with us today. He has been leading bold initiatives that reflect Odisha's commitment to youth, culture, and 21st century education. As a youth leader who also holds a BTech degree, brings in rich experience from the corporate world as well, including TCS and Adani, into the public service domain, and has stood firm on his commitment to skilling and inclusion. I'll request him to address this wonderful gathering.
नमस्कार जय जगन्नाथ आज विशेष अवसर रे मंच रे उपस्थित थिबा हम समस्तंकर अति सम्मानस्पद माननीय मुख्यमंत्री ओडिशा प्रदेश श्रीयुक्त मोहन माझी महोदय माननीय केंद्र शिक्षा मंत्री तथा ये संपूर्ण कार्यक्रम को केमिति शिक्षा वातावरण भितर शैक्षिक वातावरण भितर को नहीं हबो सेति मार्गदर्शन करिथिबा श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान महोदय एवं ओडिशार आईटी तथा हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर मिनिस्टर डॉक्टर मुकेश महालिंग महोदय उभय आईटी और हायर एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट रो सेक्रेटरी ता सहित जड़े ओडिया भाव रे जे निजको परिचय प्रदान करुथुले सिंगापुर सरकार रे जदियो तांकर भूमिका रही किंतु जन्म माटी प्रति तांकर जहाँ अवदान योगदान रहिबा कथा से कथा को भूली नाहंती सीओ जीएफटीएन स्वप्नेन्दु महांती महोदय एवं डॉक्टर तपन सिंघल सीओ बजाज एलियंस मंच सम्मुख रे उपस्थित थिबा मान्यवर सांसद जाजपुर मान्यवर सांसद कंधमाल ओडिशार कोण अनुकोणरू आसीथिबा समस्त वरेण्य व्यक्ति विशेष एवं आई वार्मली वेलकम द डेलीगेट्स फ्रॉम सिंगापुर आज एक विशेष मुहूर्त खुशीर मुहूर्त जो इन्स्योरटेक रो कथा कहतु फिनटेक रो कथा कहतु पृथ्वी जहाँ उपरे आजिर दिन में गतिशीलता लाभ करिछि से क्षेत्र में जेतेबेले ओडिशा को आमे भारत नेत्र आधार रे ओडिशा को सेथिरे संलग्न करुछंती निश्चय भाव रे मु कृतज्ञता जणेबी मु धन्यवाद ज्ञापन करेबी माननीय मुख्यमंत्री महोदय को माननीय केंद्र शिक्षा मंत्री महोदय को दुहिंकर तत्वावधान रे दुहिंकर प्रत्यक्ष प्रेरणा रे आज आईटी डिपार्टमेंट जो इनिशिएटिव नहीं एवं आज बहुत छात्र छात्री एठी अछंती जो माने पाखापाखि 375 जन छात्र छात्री ओडिशार विभिन्न अंचल केवल कटक भुवनेश्वर रे थिबा कॉलेज गुडी को नुहे सुदूर रायगढ़ ठारू आरंभ करिकी सुंदरगढ़ पर्यंत ओडिशार विभिन्न कॉलेज रो पिला माने एवं तांकर irrespective of discipline, se commerce ର ପିଲା ହେଇପାରନ୍ତି, ସେ arts ର ପିଲା ହେଇପାରନ୍ତି, ସେ science ର ପିଲା ହେଇପାରନ୍ତି, ସମସ୍ତେ ଆଜି ଗୋଟିଏ ପ୍ଲାଟଫର୍ମକୁ ଆସିଛନ୍ତି। ନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ୟୁନିଭର୍ସିଟି ଅଫ୍ ସିଙ୍ଗାପୁର କୁହନ୍ତୁ, GFTN କୁହନ୍ତୁ, AIDF କୁହନ୍ତୁ, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଗୋଟେ ସମନ୍ୱୟରେ ସେମାନେ ଫିନଟେକ୍ ଆଉ ଇନ୍ସୋଟେକ୍ ଉପରେ ଯେଉଁ ସ୍କିଲିଂ ତାଙ୍କର ହେବ, ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ଆଜି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଟିକେ ସମୟ ମିଳିଥିଲା କେନ୍ଦ୍ରମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ମହୋଦୟ ସେମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଭାବର ଆଦାନ ପ୍ରଦାନ କରୁଥିଲେ, ବାର୍ତ୍ତାଳାପ କରୁଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ 375 ଛାତ୍ରଛାତ୍ରୀ ଏଥିରେ ସିଲେକ୍ଟେଡ୍ ହେଇଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ଆଗ୍ରହ ପ୍ରକାଶ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନାଇଁ ଆମେ ଏଟା ଚାକିରି ଉଦ୍ଦେଶ୍ୟରେ କରିନାହୁ, ଆମେ ନିଜେ କେଉଁଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଗୋଟେ ନିଜେ ଏ ସେକ୍ଟରରେ ଗୋଟେ ବଡ଼ ଉଦ୍ୟୋଗୀ ହେଇପାରିବୁ, ନିଜେ ଏ ସେକ୍ଟରରେ ଅନ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କୁ ନିଯୁକ୍ତିର ସୁଯୋଗ ଦେଇପାରିବୁ। ଆଜି ପ୍ରଥମ ଦିନରୁ ସେମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଏ ଯେଉଁ ପ୍ରକାର କନଫିଡେନ୍ସ ଆସୁଛି, এই କନଫିଡେନ୍ସ ଆମମାନଙ୍କୁ କନଫିଡେନ୍ସ ଦେଉଛି 2036ରେ ଆମେ ଯେଉଁ ବିକଶିତ ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ପରିକଳ୍ପନା କରିଛୁ, ସେ ବିକଶିତ ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ନେତୃତ୍ୱ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ନେବେ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ସେମାନେ ସୁଦକ୍ଷ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ ଆତ୍ମବିଶ୍ୱାସୀ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଆତ୍ମନିର୍ଭରଶୀଳ ମଧ୍ୟ ଅଛନ୍ତି। ଗତକାଲି ମାନ୍ୟବର ରାଜ୍ୟପାଳ କିଛି ବିଭାଗର ମନ୍ତ୍ରୀମାନଙ୍କୁ ଅଧିକାରୀମାନଙ୍କୁ ଡକେଇଥିଲେ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟମ୍ କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟିଂ ଉପରେ ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ଆଜିର ଦିନରେ ଭୂମିକା କ'ଣ ରହିବ, ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ୟୁନିଭର୍ସିଟି ମାନେ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟମ୍ କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟିଂ ଦିଗରେ କ'ଣ ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ନେବେ, ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ଯୁବ ସମାଜ ଏ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟମ୍ କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟିଂ ଉପରେ କେମିତି ଆଗକୁ ଚାଲିବ ସେ ସମ୍ପର୍କରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଆଲୋଚନା ହେଇଛି। ଖୁବ୍ ନିକଟ ଭବିଷ୍ୟତରେ ମାନ୍ୟବର ମୁଖ୍ୟମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଏ ସମ୍ପର୍କରେ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ ଅବଗତ କରାଇବେ। ଏକ ସୁନ୍ଦର ପ୍ରସ୍ତାବ, ସୁନ୍ଦର ଯୋଜନା ଆମେ ଏ ସମ୍ପର୍କରେ କରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଛୁ। ବନ୍ଧୁଗଣ, ସର୍ବଶେଷରେ ମୁଁ ଏତିକି କେବଳ କହିବି, ଆଜିର ଦିନରେ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଜାତିକୁ ସଫଳତାର ଶୀର୍ଷ ସୋପାନରେ ନେଇକି ପହଞ୍ଚାଇବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ଏ କଥା ଯେଉଁ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଉଦ୍ୟୋଗୀମାନେ ଏଠି ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଏ କଥା ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଉଦ୍ୟୋଗୀ ହେବାକୁ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଆଜି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ନିଜ ନିଜ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ଏଥିପାଇଁ ନେତୃତ୍ୱ ନେବାକୁ ମୋର ବିନମ୍ର ଅନୁରୋଧ ରହିବ ଏଥିପାଇଁ। ଏବଂ ଉଚ୍ଚଶିକ୍ଷା ବିଭାଗ ଯେଉଁଟାକି ଫିନଟେକ୍, ଇନ୍ସୋଟେକ୍, ଟେକ୍, କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟମ୍ ଏସବୁ ଉଚ୍ଚଶିକ୍ଷା ବିଭାଗର ମାନେ ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ଅଫ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ନଥିଲା, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ବୋଧ ହୁଏ ଯେଉଁ କଥା GR ଗ୍ରସ୍ ଏନରୋଲମେଣ୍ଟ ରେସିଓ କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ କମି ଯାଉଛି ସେ ସମ୍ପର୍କରେ ଆମେ ବହୁତ ଚିନ୍ତିତ ଥିଲୁ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଆଜିର ଦିନରେ ଯୁଗ ଯାହା ଚାହୁଁଛି ଆମେ କେବଳ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ବିଟେକ୍ କରିବେ, ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଡିପ୍ଲୋମା କରିବେ, ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଏମଟେକ୍ କରିବେ ସେଇମାନଙ୍କୁ କେବଳ ୟାର ସୁଯୋଗ ଦେବା, କିନ୍ତୁ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଜେନେରାଲ ଷ୍ଟଡିଜରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ସୁଯୋଗ ଦେବା ନାହିଁ, ଏ କଥାରେ ଆଜି ଆମେ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରୁନାହୁଁ। ଜାତୀୟ ଶିକ୍ଷାନୀତି 2020ର ପ୍ରତିପାଳନ ପରେ ଯଶସ୍ୱୀ ପ୍ରଧାନମନ୍ତ୍ରୀଙ୍କର ମାର୍ଗଦର୍ଶନରେ କେନ୍ଦ୍ର ଶିକ୍ଷାମନ୍ତ୍ରୀଙ୍କର ମାର୍ଗଦର୍ଶନ ଏବଂ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେବି ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ମୁଖ୍ୟମନ୍ତ୍ରୀଙ୍କୁ, ସରକାର ଆସିବାର ପ୍ରଥମ 100 ଦିନ ଭିତରେ ଜାତୀୟ ଶିକ୍ଷାନୀତି 2020ର ଇମ୍ପ୍ଲିମେଣ୍ଟେସନ୍ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ କରାଯାଇଛି। ତେଣୁ ଇଏ ଜାତୀୟ ଶିକ୍ଷାନୀତି NEP 2020 କହୁଛି ଯେ ଆମେ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ମଲ୍ଟି ଡାଇମେନ୍ସନାଲ କରାଇବା, ଆମ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଚ୍ୟୁସନ୍ ଗୁଡ଼ିକୁ ମଲ୍ଟି ଡାଇମେନ୍ସନାଲ କରାଇବା। ଇଏ ସବୁ ସେତେବେଳେ ସମ୍ଭବ ହେଇପାରିବ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଜେନେରାଲ ଷ୍ଟଡି ବା ଟେକ୍ନିକାଲ ଷ୍ଟଡି ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ ବଡ଼ ପ୍ରାଚୀର ରଖିବା ନାହିଁ। ଆଜିର ଦିନରେ ଜଣେ AI ଶିଖିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି, ଜଣେ ML ଶିଖିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି, ଜଣେ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟମ୍ରେ ତାର କୋର୍ସ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି, ତାର ସ୍କିଲ୍ ବଢ଼େଇବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି, ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ସୁଯୋଗ ଦେବା। ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେବି GFTNକୁ, ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେବି AIDFକୁ, ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେବି NUSକୁ ଏବଂ ଓଡ଼ିଶାର IT ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟକୁ ଯିଏକି ଉଚ୍ଚଶିକ୍ଷାରେ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଜେନେରାଲ ଷ୍ଟଡିଜ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଇଏ ଏକ ବଡ଼ ସୁଯୋଗ ଆଣିକି ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି। ଇଏ 375 ପିଲା ଆଜି ଯେଉଁମାନେ ସିଲେକ୍ଟେଡ୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନଙ୍କର ସମୁଦାୟ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ ରାଜ୍ୟ ସରକାର ବହନ କରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି। ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ବ୍ୟାଚ୍ରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଆଉ 375 ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଅନବୋର୍ଡ କରାଯିବ ଏବଂ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଇନ୍ସୋଟେକ୍, ଫିନଟେକ୍, GFTN ସହିତ ଜଡ଼ିତ ହେଇକି ରହିବେ ସେମାନେ ଆଗାମୀ କାଲିର ଓଡ଼ିଶା ନିର୍ମାଣ କରିବେ। ଏହି ଆଶା ବିଶ୍ୱାସର ସହିତ ବାଣୀକୁ ବିରାମ ଦେଉଛି। ବନ୍ଦେ ଉତ୍କଳ ଜନନୀ, ଭାରତ ମାତା କି ଜୟ।
माननीय मंत्री महोदयଙ୍କର ଅଭିଭାଷଣ ପାଇଁ ଅଶେଷ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ। Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, as you would be aware, the government of Odisha, in collaboration with GFTN and National University of Singapore's Asian Institute of Digital Finance, has taken a transformative leap towards training its youth to be an integral part of the new age world of fintech. We have a video on this initiative, so let's take a look at it.
Born of Kalinga's trading legacy and driven by digital ambition, Odisha now prepares its youth to lead the world of fintech. In a landmark step for Odisha's future, the government of Odisha and Singapore headquartered GFTN, in partnership with the National University of Singapore, bring a world-class learning experience to our doorstep. The certificate in fintech and insurtech, a 5-month hybrid program, will upskill 7,000 young minds with the skills the digital world demands, preparing them to lead in the global economy. This is a journey of ambition. Students are introduced to the program through their colleges, then complete a comprehension test to secure their place in the cohort. The learning begins online, followed by 2 intensive weeks of in-person training at the Skills Development Institute in Bhubaneswar. The highlight, an 8-week capstone project where teams tackle real-world challenges from leading industry partners, building solutions, refining ideas, and presenting to expert panels. Along the way, they gain the knowledge, the confidence, and global perspective needed to thrive in a digital economy in an industry-ready environment.
I appeared for the examination, it went well, and I'm looking forward to be a part of their programs. I'm really thankful to GFTN as well as our Odisha government. Thank you so much.
We are very fortunate to be able to participate in this initiative, and I hope that I will be able to get the chance to take part and further our knowledge.
I find GFTN's objective to help individuals in their financial life, to help them manage their day-to-day lives, financial shocks, and to prepare for a better future to be remarkable goals. I'm looking forward to the other initiatives and programs.
From the proud classrooms of Odisha to the global boardrooms of tomorrow, a new generation rises, equipped with placements, connections, and skills that put them at the forefront of the world's digital financial revolution.
Rises from Odisha to shine in the world of fintech all across the globe, and we are very delighted to inform that some of that students from that new generation are here with us today who have been shortlisted for this course. About 40-50 students. Can we request them to please rise? Yes, and a big round of applause for all of them. Wishing you all the best. Thank you so much to all our students. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us on stage Dr. Mukesh Mahaling, the Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha. With over 2 decades of service as an environmental scientist, he brings rare depth to governance, having served across scientific, administrative, and political roles, and is also championing Odisha's digital infrastructure evolution as the Electronics and IT Minister. So I'll request him to address the gathering.
जय जगन्नाथ। भारत नेत्र, वन विजन, वन फाइनेंस, वन फ्यूचर, इंटीग्रेटेड ग्लोबल फाइनेंस टेक्नोलॉजी हब। इस कार्यक्रम में आज के हमारे मुख्य अतिथि मान्यवर लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री ओडिशा सरकार मोहन चरण माझी जी, हमारे उड़ीसा के बरपुत्र ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी के कैबिनेट में एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी, उड़ीसा के हायर एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर सूर्यवंशी सूरज जी, और इस GFTN को आज ग्राउंडेड करने वाले हमारे साथी सिंगापुर GFTN CEO स्वप्नेंदु महांती जी, बजाज फाइनेंस के डॉक्टर तपन सिंघल जी, और हमारे IT Secretary Vishal Dev ji, Higher Education Secretary अरविंद अग्रवाल जी, इस सभागार में मौजूद आमंत्रित अतिथि, मान्यवर सांसद कंधमाल, मान्यवर सांसद जाजपुर, and the teaching faculty from the National University of Singapore, और जो स्टूडेंट्स मो ओडिशा रो विभिन्न कॉलेज रु आसीथिबा जो माने ए GFTN प्रोग्राम रे एनरोल्ड हेइछंती एवं आगामी दिन रे ए कार्यक्रम रे पार्टिसिपेट करिवे, पढ़िवे एवं गोटे ओडिशा रो टैलेंट को ग्लोबली गोटे हाइप को नेबे, तांकू मु अनेक अनेक शुभेच्छा जनाउछि। आज ओडिशा के लिए एक हिस्टोरिक डे है। हमने पूरे भारतवर्ष में ओडिशा ऐसे एक राज्य है जहां ऐसा एक कोर्स वर्क मॉड्यूल किया गया है कि नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 का जो विजन और मिशन है कि अपस्किलिंग किया जाए, और हम जब सीकर नहीं होके जब प्रोवाइडर होंगे, ये विजन को आज जनरल स्टूडेंट तरफ से जो हमारे जनरल यूनिवर्सिटीज़ है वहीं से ये स्टूडेंट्स चुन के आए हैं। तो इस जर्नी में दो बातें मैं कहना चाहता हूं। आई मस्ट थैंक्स टू डबल इंजन सरकार अंडर द एबल लीडरशिप ऑफ नरेंद्र मोदी जी, प्रधानमंत्री, ऑनरेबल प्रधानमंत्री, एंड आवर चीफ मिनिस्टर मोहन चरण माझी जी। आमर सरकार जेते बेले प्रथम थर शपथ नेला, आमे गोटे कार्यक्रम रे मु जाइथिली दिल्ली। माननीय केंद्र शिक्षा विकास मंत्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी मते 2-3 जन IT प्रोफेशनल सहित देखा करैथिले दिल्ली रे। ता सहित स्वप्नेन्दु जी सहित आमर कथबार्ता हैला। तापरे नवेम्बर 2024 रे GFTN रो ग्लोबल कार्यक्रम सिंगापुर रे हेवा पई स्थिर होइथा, एवं तापरे ए कार्यक्रम रे माननीय केंद्र शिक्षा विकास मंत्री तांकर जो विजन एवं मिशन जे ओडिया लोक केमिति ग्लोबल मार्केट रे ग्लोबल टेक्नोलॉजी साभी हेबे एवं आम पिला केमिति ग्लोबली अपस्किलिंग हेबे तापर गोटे विजन थॉट देले। एवं मते कहले एबे जेते बेले तांको सहित शुभेंदु भाई इंटरेक्शन करथले, आपण सुनुथिबे जे अरे मुकेश तमे गोटे GFTN रो कार्यक्रम हबो सिंगापुर रे, आ निश्चित भाव रे जीव, नगले तुमको देखि थाओ जहा करिवि। तापरे मु पूरा गोटे भाबिली जे GFTN टा कोन। देन आई सर्च इन द AI मेटा चैट GPT। मते गोटे केमती केमती लागला GFTN रो सिस्टम रे मु तो केबे आमे जानि नथिलु। देन वी रश टू सिंगापुर, परमिशन नेलु ऑनरेबल CM कठू, एवं आमे मु एवं आमर IT सेक्रेटरी विशाल देव और से फाइनेंस सेक्रेटरी थिले आमर शाश्वत मिसिक्री GFTN रो कार्यक्रम रे 4 दिन सिंगापुर रे रही की आसिलु। मोर भी प्रथम एक्सपीरियंस ए भलिया गोटे कार्यक्रम रे विदेश को जिबार थिला, एवं आसला परे मोर मन भीतर गोटे पसिला जे नाही जेमतिया हेले भी यहा को ओडिसा रे ग्राउंडेड करा हबो। एवं थैंक्स to the idea of Honorable Higher Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan ji, support of Swapnendu Mohanty, and support of our Honorable Chief Minister and Suryavanshi Suraj, our Higher Education Minister, and also Vishal Dev, ei पछरे पड़िलु एवं 8 मास भितरे आमे कार्यक्रम टाको आज ग्राउंडेड कलु। सेति पई मु निजुकु बहुत निजको खुशी एवं गर्वित मने करूछि। एवं आज आम पिला माने both offline एवं online mode रे एहार कोर्स मॉड्यूल रे निजुको एक्सपोज करिवे एंड ऑल्सो आमे एहा द्वारा गोटे आमे आत्मनिर्भर भारत जो चिंता करूछु निश्चित भाव रे आगामी दिन रे हमकु फलप्रद करिवो एवं गोटे लाइन मु एठी कोट करबा को चाहे जे इंडिपेंडेंस डे सेलिब्रेशन जेते बेले हो एबी अगस्त 15 दिन ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया सेठी कोट करूथले जे टुडेज आइडिया कुड सेव द फ्यूचर ऑफ जनरेशंस टू कम निश्चित भाव रे ए टेक जुगरे आमे गोटे आमे जेते बेले टेक्नोलॉजी सहित निजको शामिल करिवा निश्चित भाव रे ओडिशा सरकार रो एवं भारत सरकार जो विजन अच्छी यह आग को जीव एवं मु धन्यवाद देवी ओडिशा सरकार माननीय मुख्यमंत्री को जे आम सरकार आसला परे आईटी डिपार्टमेंट रो ओडिशा एआई पॉलिसी ओडिशा सेमीकंडक्टर पॉलिसी जीसीसी फिनटेक इंश्रोटेक आईटी पॉलिसी ता उपरे त्वरित भाव रे कार्य करा जाउछि एवं आ गोटे सबुथुरु बड़ कथा हला जे आई मस्ट थैंक्स टू गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ नरेंद्र मोदी जी they have sanctioned 2 number of semiconductor unit to be established in the state of Odisha worth of cost of around 4,000 Indian national rupees. So it's a 4,000 Indian national rupees. It's not a small amount, and one will be our semiconductor and another it is our 3D glass company. And also Government of India has sanctioned a Bhubaneswar region ring road of worth of cost 8,000 crore, so that a IT hub will be in the focus of Government of India and Government of Odisha in the Bhubaneswar region. So एथिपाई निश्चित भाव रे आमर इकोनॉमी आगो को बहुत ग्रोथ करिवो एवं आम पिला अपस्किलिंग हवा द्वारा निश्चित भाव रे ओडिसा रो जो आमर उत्कर्ष ओडिशा बाय 2036 एवं विकसित भारत बाय 2047 यह निश्चित हबो एवं मो अनुरोध करिवि ए प्लेटफॉर्म रु पुनी थरे आई मस्ट रिक्वेस्ट टू डॉक्टर तपन सिंघल जी कि हमारे जो पहले बैच के लड़के निकलेंगे उसमें से आपको एक रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेना पड़ेगा कि हमारे सभी बच्चे जैसे आपके कंपनी में एब्जर्व हो. थैंक्स टू ऑल द ऑडियंस फॉर पैशन शेयरिंग. वंदे उत्कल जननी, भारत माता की जय.
Thank you to our Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very privileged to have amidst us Honorable Union Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji. He has been at the forefront of implementing the national education policy, rolling out PM Shri schools and driving digital inclusion across classrooms, ensuring that every young Indian is equipped for a changing world. And of course, he's always stood tall as a vocal and tireless champion for Odisha, positioning it as a rising force in India's growth story. So it'll be an honor to request him to address this wonderful gathering.
Good evening. The inauguration program of Integrated Global Financial Technology Capability Hub in collaboration of Government of Odisha and GFTN of Singapore. On this days of inauguration, Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi ji, Honorable Minister of Health, Family Welfare and Parliamentary Affairs and Electronics and Information Technology, Dr. Mukesh Mahaling, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Sports, Youth Service, Odia Language, Literature and Culture, Government of Odisha, Shri Suryavanshi Suraj ji, Principal Secretary, Electronics and Information Technology, Shri Vishal Kumar Dev ji, Shri Arvind Agarwal, Secretary, Higher Education, my dear friend, Shri Swapnendu Mahanti, CEO, GFTN Singapore, Dr. Tapan Singhel, CEO, Bajaj Alliance, Honorable MP Shri Sukanta Panigrahi, Honorable MP Shri Rabindra Behra, distinguished friends from different walk of life, distinguished guests from Singapore, professors from National University of Singapore, officials from Singapore Financial Authority, different dignitaries from banking and insurance sector, distinguished guests from Odisha, my dear students, those who have selected on merit basis through examination for this ambitious skilling program, friends from the media. It fills me with deep pride to stand here today, not only as Union Minister, but as the son of this sacred soil at the inauguration of Integrated Global Financial Technology Capability Hub in Odisha in partnership with the Global Finance and Technology Network, GFTN. Friends, Bhubaneswar has a long history of knowledge. Bhubaneswar is our state capital. Prime Minister Modi has given a clarion call to entire nation. By 2047, India has to become a developed nation. And our Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha has joined the chorus by appealing to Odia society, Odia people. By 2036, we have to leapfrog and the speed of national government. By 2036, we have to be a developed Odisha. Only through a developed Odisha, a developed India's target can be achieved. The recent 15 August speech, Honorable Prime Minister gave a new idea. 8 decades ago, we got independence from colonial rule. Swarajya was the mission of our fight. Today, when we are targeting 47 to be developed nation, Samriddhi is our target. Swarajya to Samriddhi. Samriddhi in all aspects, in financial aspect, in education aspect, in social aspect, in health aspect, in all round aspect. Friends, only to achieve this Samriddha Bharat target, we have to plan in detail. Today, where do India stand or do Odisha stands? Today, over 700 million Indians use digital payments, UPI alone. 10 billion transactions every month, setting a global benchmark. In fact, in July 2025, last month, UPI set a fresh record with 1,947 crore transactions amounting to a staggering 25 lakhs crore rupees. This is new India. In the digital economy, we are the hub of the entire world. Countries from Singapore to France, UAE, Bhutan, Nepal and Sri Lanka have already adopted or integrated UPI, providing that India's innovation can power global financial inclusion. Today, this is India's capability. If you go to Singapore, if you transact through Indian payment system UPI, you don't have to go through the Singapore payment system. UPI is gradually became a global platform for financial transaction. This is an innovation of Indian fintech ecosystem. Our fintech market valued $150 billion in 2025 is expected to reach $550 billion by 2030. Here lies the challenge in front of Odisha's youth. We have to have a share of this 2030 target. 87 adoption rate with an 87% adoption rate, India is far ahead of the world average, making us the third largest fintech ecosystem after US and UK. UPI was India's first big fintech story, a story that inspired the world. The next chapter will be written in InsurTech. Today, when I was listening to Tapanji was mentioning insurance, InsurTech is the sunrise sector in Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem. Today, every Indian is accustomed to the JAM Trinity, Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, mobile. We brought more than 530 million people into banking system in just 10 years, equal to the entire population of European Union. And this is the size of India. And to achieve today, during tea break, I was meeting with few young entrepreneurs of Odisha. With meeting them, I became more confident. I think we are on the right track. I must appreciate the action of our beloved Chief Minister Shri Mohan Majhi to taking forward Prime Minister Modi's vision. Prime Minister Modi has a vision by 2047. How do we call ourselves as a developed nation? One of the primary criteria is every citizen has to be insured. That means more insurance companies needed. That means, I think Subhendu Babu was mentioning, or Tapan Babu was mentioning, 2.5 crore new insurance personnel is needed. That means talent, those who have talent, those who have imagination, those who have capacity to innovate, they will take lead of this movement. And I'm confident Odisha should not miss the bus. Rightly, by tying with GFTN. Tying up and GFTN has brought us a unique instrument. I think I came to know, so I must congratulate the professorial team of National University of Singapore. I came to know this is the first offshore campus by NUS anywhere in the globe. Congratulations NUS. We welcome you in Odisha, we welcome in India. This is the beginning. We all are here for skilling, upskilling and reskilling of insurance faculty, insurance workforce. We have to, in the fire round chat, my dear friend Subhendu ji was asking me, what makes you impress Singapore ecosystem? Friends, one thing of Singapore impressed me. The focus of Singapore government on skilling, reskilling and upskilling. Today I am happy with the active partnership of government of Odisha and with the cooperation of institutions like GFTN. What does it mean? What is GFTN? GFTN is the offshoot of Singapore Financial Authority. What is Singapore Financial Authority? Singapore Financial Authority in India, the blend of Reserve Bank of India and Ministry of Finance. This is GFTN of Singapore. Such a prestigious institution, and it's offshoot GFTN. Tying up with the National University of Singapore, they are opening their first InsurTech. We have started visioning InsurTech Skilling Center now. I am thankful to the entire team from Government of Odisha to Singapore. They have now upgraded it to not from InsurTech to fintech skilling center. And I am more ambitious. When NUS is with us, Odisha is a land of possibility, land of opportunity, land of talented people. You will not be disheartened. When President of Singapore visited Odisha, Singapore government and Odisha government with the presence of Excellency President Tharman, we have signed MOU on the area of green hydrogen, petrochemical, semiconductor, fintech skill and building blocks of their transformation. Today I am happy within 8 months, this new instrument has coming to the reality. It's grounded. Finally, with today's program, today is 22nd August. By September onward, for 5 months, first batch in the skilling center, I came to know through a selection process, through a rigorous selection process, 375 aspirational youth of Odisha has been selected. They are not son of any big people. They are not son of any moneyed people. They are not son of any influential people. They are new Dharmapada and Bajiraut of our Odisha. They have been selected rightly by the people's government of Odisha. They have selected through their merit. What they'll do, for next 5 months, they will be trained on fintech. They will train on insurtech. Who will give them training? Who will give them skilling? Singapore's NUS, prestigious, I know what is NUS. I'm in charge of education sector of India. In the QS ranking, in financial education, I came to know NUS is the number 1 in the QS ranking. This is the prestigious NUS is partnering with us. And rightly, within 5 years, 7,000 students of Odisha through their merit, they will be selected in this process. And this is not only skilling, this is an assurance of their placement. I am thankful to my dear friend Swapnindu, and I am expecting much more from my dear, again, new friend Tapan. And I had a good discussion with your boss, my dear friend Sanjeev Bajaj, and with my new friends today whom I met here. I invite on behalf of Odisha society, we are putting red carpet for you. Come to Odisha, get skilled and knowledgeable, capacious youngsters. Don't take away your office to any part of the country. Create your new office in Odisha. I appeal to Chief Minister of Odisha. We must have a target. We must have a target. Already one of the global insurance company, GCC, is already functioning here. A young boy from Baripada, I think he's here. What is the company's name? CHOP. CHOP is a global insurance company's global capability center is already functioning from Bhubaneswar. I think Swapninduji, I will be little more ambitious in our MOU. There is a clause, the GFTN's GCC at one point of time will come to Odisha. I have not forgotten that. I am confident at one point of time more GCC will come to Odisha. What does it mean? That means my boys, my sons and daughters will get global job opportunity only from Bhubaneswar, staying with their parents, staying in Bhubaneswar locality. They will be serving the entire global requirement. This is a new age technology. This is new financial world. We don't have to physically move from anywhere. If we have talent, I came to know one of the startup who is doing job in the compliance area. It's a new startup. I wish he must have a global clientele from all parts of the world. Odia's youth have a lot of talent. I am confident this initiative of Odisha government will create new ecosystem in our state. This is only expected in the National Education Policy 2020. Prime Minister Modi says, degree is not important, competence is the much more thing in a life. And friends, we have a target. 2036 सुद्धा ओडिशा को 100 वर्ष पूर्ति होतवा सुद्धा हमको विकसित करेबा पई पड़िबो 2047 रो दायित्व हम पाखरे अछि एंड हमको गोटिए प्रश्न हम मन रहिबो जे ओडिशा रो युवक मानको आमे दायित्व नबा ना आमे तांको तांको भाग्य रे छाडी देबा ए दायित्व किए नबो दायित्व आजी पीढ़ी रो नुआ ओडिया पिला ही नबो सरकार सहयोगी हबो जो समाज रे समाज आगरे थाए सरकार ताकू सहयोगी हुए सरकार जदि सरकार शासनाधीन सब व्यवस्था है जीवो ताहले समाज रे विकास ही परिबनी आज गोटे समय आसीची 21 शताब्दी रो फर्स्ट क्वार्टर रे हम पहुंचिले प्रथम एक चतुर्था से हम पहुंचिले 1/4 स्टेज हमें पार करले एठू हमको लंबा छलांग लगेबा पई पड़िबो एक नुआ उच्चता को छुईमा पई पड़िबो भारत वर्षर आवश्यकता को ओडिया युवक माने पूरा करिवे एठी केवल इन्श्योरटेक किंबा फिनटेक इकोसिस्टम बनिबनी ये तो आरंभ हैला मात्र वैश्विक संस्था गुडी को ओडिशा को पाछोटी आनी ओडिशा रे एक नुआ अर्थनीति तयारी करिबा एई थर ओडिशा रे बनिथिबा द्रोण ऑपरेशन सिंधु रे तार पराकाष्ठा देखैला एई थर कोविड बेले कोरोना बेले भारत बायोटेक रे वैक्सीन पृथ्वीर दायित्व नेला ओडिशा रे आगामी दिन रे केवल ओडिशा पई रोजगार नुहे भारत आवश्यकता को विश्व आवश्यकता को पूरा करला भलिया दक्षता ओडिया पिलांक भितरे अछि याकू आकु नबा पई आज डबल इंजिन द सरकार नरेंद्र मोदी का नेतृत्व रे चालुथुबा भारत सरकार एटी मोहन माझी का नेतृत्व रे चालुथुबा ओडिशा सरकार या पई दायित्वबद्ध अछंती मु याकू अत्यंत प्रशंसा करिकी रही पारु नै ये उद्यम पई ये उद्यम रे जेते सहयोगी माने अधिकारी माने होंतु या पे आसीथिबा स्टेक होल्डर माने होंतु किमा एते लाभार्थी हवा पई थिबा विद्यार्थी माने होंतु किमा तंगर अभिभावक माने होंतु मु समस्तन को शुभेच्छा जनाउची ये कार्यक्रम रो सफलता पई आई मस्ट विश ऑल द बेस्ट टू ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर फॉर ग्रेट सक्सेस ऑफ दिस इनिशिएटिव थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स फॉर मेकिंग इट ग्रैंड सक्सेस थैंक यू
Thank you to our Honorable Union Minister for his inspiring words. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to introduce the Bharatnetra Hackathon, where young minds meet real-world fintech challenges. May I request the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Mohan Majhi to launch the hackathon initiative. Right, so do spread the word, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, from the ancient ports of Kalinga that connected Odisha to Southeast Asia through vibrant maritime trade to its bold strides today in global finance, Odisha has always looked outward. As the state partners with Singapore-based GFTN to emerge as India's fintech frontier through the Bharatnetra project and through its 4 unique pillars, may I now request the Honorable Chief Minister to officially launch the Bharatnetra project. Is there a technical... Oh, all right. Okay, it's been launched. Thank you so much. Yes, it's a little confusing since we're looking all at the front screen. Can we also have a video on this initiative?
From the ancient trading ports of Kalinga to today's digital gateways for data and innovation, Odisha has always connected Asia. As the world transitions to digital finance, Odisha is setting sail, charting a course from tradition to tomorrow. Odisha is investing in next-gen infrastructure and in skill development, empowering people, startups and businesses for the global fintech age. Visionary leadership from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Chief Minister Mohan Charan Majhi, and Minister for IT Dr. Mukesh Mahaling is turning ambition to action, anchoring Odisha in the global fintech ecosystem. Enabled by India's transformative national education policy, championed by Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. Bharatnetra, led by the government of Odisha with GFTN, launching a flagship initiative to build fintech capabilities to support the fintech industry in India and the world to drive inclusion, cross-border connectivity and sustainable growth for SMEs and startups through the Integrated Global Financial Technology Capability Hub. The strength of I-GFTCH rests on 4 pillars, each advancing Odisha's leadership in global fintech. A world-class learning engine powered by GFTN and the National University of Singapore's Asian Institute of Digital Finance will upskill 7,000 students with cutting-edge curricula in AI, blockchain, fintech, insurtech, and digital finance, preparing youth for the new age economy, a nexus for global dialogue, bringing policymakers, technologists and financiers together in Odisha to shape industry trends, drive thought leadership and amplify innovation strategies worldwide. A deep innovation culture fueling startup creation, connecting global investors and accelerating new financial technologies, transforming ideas into products and Odisha into a hotbed for entrepreneurship. An ecosystem of collaborative workspaces, global partnerships and integrated resources, making Odisha a strategic launchpad for companies entering India's digital finance corridor and connecting to the Asian fintech ecosystem. From sacred architecture to the glowing corridors of tomorrow, Odisha's legacy lives on. With Bharatnetra, Odisha unites tradition and ambition, leadership and innovation, inviting the world to shape the future together.
All right, so that's a big round of applause for this initiative, Bharatnetra. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a matter of great pride and prestige for us that the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha has graced this momentous occasion as the chief guest. From humble beginnings in a village in Keonjhar to the highest seat of governance in the state, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi embodies the power of perseverance and people-first leadership. As the Chief Minister of Odisha, he has transformed the state into India's growth engine, aligning Odisha's progress with Prime Minister Modi ji's Purvodaya vision and his own bold roadmaps like Vision 2036 and 2047, which aim for Odisha to become a $1.5 trillion economy. A champion of investment and inclusive development, he has launched a slew of transformative projects across sectors, and under his leadership, Odisha attracted investment of over 16 lakh crore during Utkarsh Odisha 2025 held earlier this year. That deserves a round of applause. In fact, Odisha has also led the nation in the Q1 of financial year 2025, attracting a staggering 1.4 lakh crore in private capital expenditure. Ladies and gentlemen, it is his firm belief in the potential of Odisha to become a national fintech capital which has turned a January MOU into an August reality, which we are all celebrating tonight. So please join me in welcoming the leader who is architecting Odisha's tomorrow, our Honorable Chief Minister Shri Mohan Charan Majhi, as we request him to address this August gathering at Bharatnetra. A big round of applause as we welcome him on stage.
Jai Jagannath, Honorable Union Minister, Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Honorable Minister Electronics and Information Technology, Dr. Mukesh Mahaling ji, Honorable Minister Higher Education, Shri Suryavanshi Suraj ji, CEO Global Finance and Technology Network Singapore, Mr. Swapnendu Mohanty, MD and CEO Bajaj Alliance, Dr. Tapan Singhel ji, Principal Secretary Electronics and IT Shri Vishal Kumar Dev, Commissioner cum Secretary Higher Education Arvind Agrawal, two Honorable Member of Parliament present here, Honorable MP Kandhamal, Sukanta Pranigrahi, and Honorable MP Jajpur Dr. Rabindra Narayana Behera. Namaskar and a very warm welcome to everyone. It is a proud moment of Odisha to launch the Integrated Global Financial Technology Capability Hub, Bharatnetra, a one vision, one finance and one future visionary initiative set to reshape our state's future in finance and technology. Today, Odisha is taking a bold step that will strengthen India's leadership in the fast-growing digital economy. The hub represents a landmark partnership between the government of Odisha and the Global Finance and Technology Network, Singapore. This partnership was developed during the historic visit of the Honorable President of Singapore, Mr. Tharman Shanmugaratnam, who came to Odisha in January this year. It is an expression of our strong commitment to open Odisha to the world and bring the best opportunities to our state. With this initiative, we are committed to skill more than 7,000 students from all 30 districts of Odisha through globally recognized certification programs designed by the Asian Institute of Digital Finance at the National University of Singapore. यह प्रयास हमारे राष्ट्रीय लक्ष्य के अनुरूप है, जिसमें युवाओं को नयाचार और कौशल से सशक्त बनाने की बात हमारे माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हाल ही में 79वां स्वतंत्रता दिवस भाषण में रेखांकित की थी। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने युवाओं के लिए 1 लाख करोड़ का प्रमुख रोजगार योजना तथा 3 करोड़ युवाओं को लाभान्वित करने की घोषणा की। ओडिशा इस प्रेरणादायी राष्ट्रीय प्रयास को पूर्ण सहयोग देने के लिए आज तैयार है। Our approach to skilling is historic and focused on future. Nearly 180,000 students graduate every year from engineering, polytechnic, and IT streams in Odisha, and our 950 ITIs are building a strong talent pipeline for tomorrow. Our World Skills Center in Bhubaneswar is already be benchmark for global standard training. The I-GFTCH will add to these strengths, offering specialized skilling in fintech, insurtech, blockchain, and AI in finance. Killing our youth is crucial, but we must also invest in research and innovation. Odisha has established new center of excellence, including the Deep Neural Network Laboratory, to support advanced research. Our ambition is to make Odisha the research capital of the East. I am glad to highlight that Odisha has recently received cabinet approval from the central government for India's next two major semiconductor projects, such as 6M having investment of rupees 2,066 crore and 3D Glass having investment of rupees 1,943 crore, placing our state at the core of the global electronics and semiconductor supply chain. Together with our electronics manufacturing clusters at Info Valley Bhubaneswar, the semiconductor project will create thousands of high-value jobs and exciting opportunities for our youth in research, chip design, and fabrication. Semiconductors are the foundation of the digital economy, and Odisha is proud to take a leading role in this national mission. Within the hub, a dedicated center of excellence will nurture startups and entrepreneurs in the state of Odisha. इस परियोजना के अंतर्गत एक ग्लोबल कैपेबिलिटी सेंटर भी स्थापित किया जाएगा, जो हमारे राज्यों में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय वित्तीय संस्थानों और एक निवेशों को आकर्षित करने के लिए एक प्रमुख द्वार के रूप में ये कार्य करेगा। ओडिशा के लोगों की ओर से मैं हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री जी श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का उनके दूरदर्शी नेतृत्व और ओडिशा के लिए दो प्रमुख सेमीकंडक्टर प्रोजेक्ट्स की कैबिनेट स्वीकृति है हेतु मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। To support these efforts, we are investing in digital infrastructure. A new cable landing station linking Bhubaneswar and Singapore is being built. This will greatly boost connectivity and help Odisha become an attractive destination for global technology investments. We are also developing our tech ecosystem with 4 STPIA centers in Bhubaneswar, Raulkela, Baleswar and Brahmapur. These centers empower our entrepreneurs to reach global markets in IT and IT-enabled services. Odisha now hosts more than 500 IT and ITS companies, creating jobs for almost 60,000 professionals. Our startup ecosystem has grown to over 1,500 startups supported by more than 50 incubators. Odisha has decided policies for IT, electronics, semiconductors, data centers, and BPOs, and recently became the first state in India with a dedicated artificial intelligence policy. We are using AI to solve problems faced by ordinary people. Soon, we will launch new policies for fintech and global capability centers aimed at attracting even more global investments. All of these efforts support our vision 2036 and 2047 goal to build a $500 billion economy by 2036 and $1.5 trillion economy by 2047 for the state of Odisha. This will make Odisha to become one of the top 5 Indian states in terms of per capita income. আজি নিশ্চিত ভাବରେ ମୁଁ ବି ଦି ଶବ୍ଦ ଏଠି ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ଥିବା ମୋର ସମ୍ଭାବନାର ସମସ୍ତ ଯେଉଁ ଭାଇ ଓ ଭଉଣୀମାନେ ଏଠି ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ଥିବା ସମସ୍ତ ସଜ୍ଜନ ମଣ୍ଡଳୀଙ୍କୁ ଆଜି ଏଭଳି ଏକ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମ ଯାହାକି ଆଜି ଆମ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ପାଇଁ ଏକ ନୂଆ ସୁଯୋଗ ଆଣିଦେଇଛି ଆଉ ଏ ସୁଯୋଗର ଆଜି ଡବଲ ଇଞ୍ଜିନ ସରକାରରେ ଏବଂ ବିଶେଷ କରିକି ଆଜି ଆମକୁ ଏ ଯେଉଁ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ୍ ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି ସହିତ ଆଜି ଯେଭଳି ଭାବରେ ବିଶେଷ କରିକି ସିଙ୍ଗାପୁର ସହିତ ଆମର ଗୋଟିଏ ସହବନ୍ଧିତ ହେବା ସହିତ ସମ୍ପର୍କର ଗୋଟିଏ ନୂଆ ବିକାଶର ରାସ୍ତାକୁ ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି ସହିତ ଯେଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଆମେ ରୋଡ୍ ଶୋ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସିଙ୍ଗାପୁରକୁ ଯାଇଥିଲୁ ସେଠିକାର ସରକାରଙ୍କ ସହିତ ସିଧାସଳଖ ଆଲୋଚନା ହେବା ପରିପ୍ରେକ୍ଷୀରେ ସେମାନେ ଆମ ସହିତ ଯେଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଏକ ସୌହାର୍ଦ୍ଦ୍ୟ ବାତାବରଣ ଭିତରେ ସିଙ୍ଗାପୁର ଏବଂ ଭାରତ ଭିତରେ ବିଶେଷ କରିକି ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ୍ ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି ଉପରେ ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱ ଆରୋପ କରିବା ଏବଂ ତାହା ସହିତ ଆମ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ କିଭଳି ଭାବରେ ୱାର୍ଲ୍ଡ କ୍ଲାସ୍ର ସ୍କିଲିଂ ଏମ୍ପାୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ କରିବା ଏବଂ ସେ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଏକ ବିଶ୍ୱସ୍ତରୀୟ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ସେହି ଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡାର୍ଡ଼ର ତିଆରି କରିବା ଏବଂ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ସମସ୍ତ କମ୍ପିଟିସନରେ ଯେଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଯୋଗ୍ୟତା ବନେଇବା ଯାହାକି ଅନେକ ସମୟରେ ଆମେ ଦେଖିଛୁ ଯେ ଆମ ପିଲାମାନେ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଆମର ୱାର୍ଲ୍ଡ ସ୍କିଲ୍ ସେଣ୍ଟରରେ ଏଠି ଶିକ୍ଷା ନେଉଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ବିଶ୍ୱସ୍ତରର ଯେକୌଣସି ଏକ ପ୍ରତିଯୋଗିତାରେ କମ୍ପିଟିସନରେ ଭାଗ ନେଉଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ ସ୍ୱତନ୍ତ୍ରତା ଅର୍ଜନ କରିବା ଗତ ବର୍ଷ ଆମେ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ପଠାଇଥିଲୁ ୟୁରୋପକୁ ସେଠି ସେମାନେ ପ୍ରତିଯୋଗିତାରେ ଭାଗ ନେଇଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ସ୍ୱତନ୍ତ୍ରତା ଭାବରେ ସମ୍ମାନ ପାଇବା ସହିତ ପୋଜିସନିଂରେ ଆସିଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ମେଡାଲ ପାଇଥିଲେ ଯେଉଁଟାକି ଆମ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟିଏ ବହୁତ ବଡ଼ ଗର୍ବ ଏବଂ ଗୌରବର କଥା। ଏଣୁ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ଆଜି ଏ ସମ୍ଭାବନା ଭିତରେ ଏଠି ଯେଉଁ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ଥିବା ସମସ୍ତ ମୋର ଛାତ୍ରଛାତ୍ରୀ ଯେଉଁ ଭାଇ ଭଉଣୀମାନେ ଏଠି ଅଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆନ୍ତରିକତା ଶୁଭେଚ୍ଛା ଜଣାଉଛି ଏବଂ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ସେଇ ଗୋଟିଏ ମିଶନରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସରକାରଙ୍କର ମଧ୍ୟ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କର ପ୍ରତି ଯେଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଜୀବନର ନିଜର ଭବିଷ୍ୟତ ତିଆରି କରିବା ସହିତ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ସହିତ ମିଶିକି କାମ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଏବଂ ବିଶେଷ କରିକି ଦେଶର ସୁନାମ ଆଣିବା ପାଇଁ ଆପଣମାନେ ଯେଉଁ ଆଶା ରଖିଛନ୍ତି ଆଜି ଏଭଳି ଏକ ଆଇଟି କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ଏହା ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ଆଗକୁ ଆମକୁ ଦିଗଦର୍ଶନ ଦେବା ସହିତ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କର ଭବିଷ୍ୟତ ମଧ୍ୟ ବଢ଼ିବ ଯେଉଁଥିରେ କି ଆଗାମୀ ଦିନରେ ଗୋଟେ ଅର୍ଥନୈତିକ ପ୍ରଭାବ ସେଥିରେ ଇଣ୍ଡିଭିଜୁଆଲ ସହିତ ଗୋଟେ ରାଜ୍ୟର ଯେଉଁ ଆଜି ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ବଡ଼ ମିଶନ ନେଉଛୁ ଯେ ଆମକୁ $500 ବିଲିୟନ ଇକୋନୋମି ଆମେ 2036 ସୁଦ୍ଧା ସମୃଦ୍ଧ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ତଥା ବିକଶିତ ଓଡ଼ିଶା କରିବାର ଯେଉଁ ଆମେ ବହୁତ ବଡ଼ ଗୋଟିଏ ସଂକଳ୍ପ ନେଇଛୁ ତାକୁ ସାକାର କରିବା ପାଇଁ ହେଲେ ଆଜି ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ପରିସ୍ଥିତି ଏବଂ ଆମକୁ ଅପରଚ୍ୟୁନିଟି ଆଜି ଆମ ପାଖକୁ ଆସୁଛି ଆଉ ତାହାର ସୁଯୋଗ ଆଜି ଆମ ସରକାର କେବେ ବି ହାତଛଡ଼ା କରିବେ ନାହିଁ ଏବଂ ଏହାକୁ ଆଧାର କରି ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଯଦି ମିଳିତ ଭାବରେ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମକୁ ସଫଳ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସରକାରଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଉଭୟ କୋଲାବୋରେସନରେ ଆମକୁ ଯିବା ପାଇଁ ପଡ଼ିବ ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ ଆମର ସ୍ୱପ୍ନ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ସଫଳ ହେବ। ଏଠି ଯେତେବେଳେ ସିଙ୍ଗାପୁରରେ ସ୍ୱପ୍ନେନ୍ଦୁ ମହାନ୍ତିଙ୍କର ସହିତ ଆଲୋଚନାରେ ଏବଂ ଏ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମକୁ କିଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଜଣେ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ହିସାବରେ ନିଜର ଜନ୍ମମାଟିରେ କିଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଏକ ସଫଳ ନେତୃତ୍ୱ ସେ ଦେଇପାରିବେ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଏଥିରେ ସମ୍ପୃକ୍ତି କରେଇକରି ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଏ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମରେ ଲଗେଇ ପାରିବେ ଏବଂ ଆର୍ଥିକ ସ୍ଥିତିରେ କେମିତି ଉନ୍ନତି ଆଣିବାରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ ହେବ ଆମ ପିଲାମାନେ ବି କେମିତି ଏଥିରେ ଏନଗେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇପାରିବେ ନୂଆ ଜବ୍ କ୍ରିଏସନ୍ ହେଇପାରିବ ଆଉ ତାକୁ ଆଜି ସେ ମନେ ରଖିଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ଏଠି ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ ଆଜି ଆମ ପାଖରେ ପୁନର୍ବାର ପୁରୁଣା କଥାକୁ ମନେ ପକାଇକି ଆଗକୁ ନେବା ପାଇଁ ସେ ଯେଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଆଜି କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ମୁଁ ସେଥିରେ ସେ ଖାଣ୍ଟି ଓଡ଼ିଆ ପିଲା ହିସାବରେ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଲୋକ ହିସାବରେ ଆଜି ଏ ଯେଉଁ କାମ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ସେଥିରେ ସଫଳ ସେ ହେବେ ନାହିଁ, ସଫଳ ଆମେ ହେବୁ, ଆମ ପିଲାମାନେ ହେବେ, ଆମ ସରକାର ଏଥିରେ ସହଯୋଗରେ ଆମକୁ ଆଗକୁ ଯିବା ପାଇଁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ଆଉ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେଉଛି ଏବଂ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆଜି ଆମର ଯେଉଁ MD ଏବଂ CEO ବାଜାଜ ଏଲିଆନ୍ସର ଯେଉଁ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଡକ୍ଟର ତପନ ସିଂଘଲଜୀ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ରୂପ ସେ ଆମକୁ ସହଯୋଗ କରିବେ ଏବଂ ଆମେ ଯେଉଁ ବହୁତ ବଡ଼ ଗୋଟେ ଟାର୍ଗେଟ ରଖିଛୁ ଯେ 7000 ଆମର ଛାତ୍ରଛାତ୍ରୀମାନଙ୍କୁ ଏ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ଆଗାମୀ ଦିନରେ ଏଥିରେ ବାଜାଜ ଏଲାଏନ୍ସ ଏ କମ୍ପାନୀ ସହିତ ଆହୁରି ଅନେକ ସହଯୋଗୀ କମ୍ପାନୀଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ବାଛିକି ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଏ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ଅଗ୍ରଣୀ ଭୂମିକା ଦେବାର ସୁଯୋଗ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ଆମେ ପାଇପାରିବୁ ଏକଥା ମୁଁ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ଆଶା କରିବି। ତ ମୁଁ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେଉଛି। ଆଜି ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ ବଡ଼ ଏ ଯେଉଁ ଏଠି ଏ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମ କରିଛୁ ଏ ଆଗକୁ ଆମକୁ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ଏକ ବହୁତ ବଡ଼ ଏ ଦିଗଦର୍ଶନ ଆମକୁ ଦେଇପାରିବ। Odisha is committed to playing a key part in the Viksit Bharat 2047 mission, helping India become a global economic leader. ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ବହୁତ ବହୁତ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେଉଛି ଏବଂ ଆଜି ଆପଣମାନେ ଏଠି ଏତେ ସମୟ ଧରିକି ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ରହିଲେ ଏ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମରେ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ରହି ସଫଳ କରାଇବା ପାଇଁ ସଂକଳ୍ପ ନେଇଛନ୍ତି। ଆଗାମୀ ଦିନରେ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଏ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ଭାରତବର୍ଷରେ ଅର୍ଥନୈତିକ ଦୃଷ୍ଟିକୋଣରୁ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ଭାରତବର୍ଷର ଶ୍ରେଷ୍ଠ 5ଟି ରାଜ୍ୟ ଭିତରେ ସ୍ଥାନିତ ହେବ ଏବଂ ଆମେ ବିକଶିତ ଭାରତର ଗ୍ରୋଥ ଇଞ୍ଜିନ୍ ହିସାବରେ କାମ କରିବା ତାର ନେତୃତ୍ୱ ନେଇପାରିବା ଏ ଆଶା ଭରସା ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ରଖିକି ମୁଁ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କ ଠାରୁ ବିଦାୟ ନେଉଛି। ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ। ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ ଅଲ୍। ଜୟ ହିନ୍ଦ। ବନ୍ଦେ ଉତ୍କଳ ଜନନୀ।
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री का प्रेरणादायी अभिभाषण पे अशेष धन्यवाद. We would like to thank our Honorable Chief Minister for his inspiring address. And ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to felicitate all our esteemed dignitaries on dais for their invaluable presence and support. First, may I request Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Govt of Odisha, Dr. Mukesh Mahaling ji, to felicitate Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi ji. Thank you. May I now request Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Govt of Odisha, Shri Suraj ji, to felicitate Honorable Union Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji. A small token of appreciation from our side, an uttariya and a memento. Thank you. May I now request Principal Secretary Electronics and IT, Shri Vishal Dev, to felicitate Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Dr. Mukesh Mahaling. I request Commissioner cum Secretary Higher Education Department, Govt of Odisha, Shri Arvind Agarwal ji, to felicitate Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Govt of Odisha, Shri Suryavanshi Suraj ji. Thank you so much. I'll now request Special Secretary Electronics and IT Department and MD UCAC Shri Manas Ranjan Pandaji to felicitate Dr. Tapan Singhal, MD and CEO Bajaj Alliance. I'll also request Shri Pandaji to felicitate Shri Swapnendu Mahanti, Group CEO, GFTN. Thank you. I'll now request CEO OCAC, Dr. Pradeep Raut, to felicitate Principal Secretary Electronics and IT, Shri Vishal Dev. Thank you. And I'll also request Dr. Rao to felicitate Commissioner cum Secretary, Higher Education Department, Government of Odisha, Shri Arvind Agarwal. Thank you. May I now request Commissioner cum Secretary, Higher Education Department, Government of Odisha, Shri Arvind Agarwal ji, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Minister of Education, Government of India, Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Government of Odisha, respected Principal Secretary, Department of Electronics and IT, Mr. Swapnendu Mahanti Mahoday, Mr. Rana Tapan Singh Singhal ji, hope I have pronounced it correctly, the MD and CEO Bajaj Alliance, respected Honorable MPs of Kandhamal and Jajpur, dear industry leaders, distinguished dignitaries of the dais, dear students, members of press and media, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to be part of this historic movement. The Odisha is taking its first step towards making a fintech global power. And the students, those who are selected and joined here, they will be the path maker for rest of the generations. On this occasion, I extend my sincere thanks to Honorable Chief Minister, under whose able leadership and the state has taken significant step for the growth and development of the state. He has not only approved this project, but has also given his valuable time to motivate students and the bureaucrats. His vision for making an empowered Odisha and to make the growth engine of the Viksit Bharat. He has motivated the entire bureaucracy to do their best, even do more than what they can do, and dedicate themselves for achievement of that vision what Honorable CM has thought of. Sir, we all give our commitment to give our best and will commit ourselves to fulfill the desire and the vision that you have thought of. I also express my sincere thanks to Honorable Minister of Education, Government of India, whose personal involvement and continuous persuasion has made it possible that we are all gathered here. Our students are getting an opportunity to get exposure of international level. I extend my sincere thanks to Honorable Minister of Electronics and IT for his able leadership to make Odisha a digital power. His insights into technology-led development added value to today's event. I extend my sincere thanks to Honorable Minister of Higher Education. Under his able leadership, we and the higher education sector had made various reforms. After he took charge of the department, now I must acknowledge that he has focused on development of competence of students, providing them skills so that they all can face the real life challenge. I extend my sincere thanks to Mr. Sapnendu Mahanti, who is son of the soil and has, while sitting in Singapore also, he always thought of the people of Odisha and how to contribute back to the motherland. His continuous personal involvement and persuasion could make it possible to deliver this entire project within a short period of 8 months, and for which we a lot to learn from him, how to convert a thought into a project and deliver it. I express my sincere thanks to Mr. Rana Tapan Singh Singhel ji, who has committed, not only he is present here, but also committed to assist the state in creating an ecosystem where we all can become a major world power in the field of fintech. Apart from this, I must thank National University of Singapore, AIDF team, GFTN team, whose continuous efforts, dedication could make this program successful. I also propose, in fact, I request NUS to also extend their supporting hand to the various general universities, technical universities of Odisha, to share their expertise to make our universities grow big. I also extend my sincere thanks to various industry leaders who spared their time, who came here and participated in this event, and also as you all have given us a motivation to work towards this. Last but not the least, the students, the 375 students, those who are joining online and offline, they are the road path maker for making Odisha a global hub. And at the end, I express my sincere thanks to the team of IT department and higher education department who could make this event successful. At the last, the media friends, who your presence and coverage and your role in amplifying such transformation of Odisha is invaluable. With this, I conclude. Jai Jagannath. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of the formal ceremony. We would like to thank all our esteemed dignitaries for gracing the launch event. And as we bring this momentous evening to a close, let us remember Bharatnetra is not just a vision, it's a movement that believes in one vision, one finance, one future. From Bhubaneswar to the world, Odisha, ladies and gentlemen, is ready. Can we have a big round of applause for all our esteemed dignitaries? We'd like to thank Honorable Chief Minister and all our esteemed dignitaries for gracing the event. And yes, thank you for being such a